All right, we're just going to go ahead and start, even though he hasn't joined yet. Let me sit up straight. Back hurts. All right, 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Fish and Grits, the podcast. This is episode 30. 30 episodes in just about 6-7 months. No, less than that. When did we start? May? June?
May or June, I forget.
Our first story. What was our first episodes? Were about like the season starting. So
let's see. Yeah, I can. So somewhere around there, I can look exactly right here. So first episode was. Oh, let me go to page 2 of our episodes now. 5/14.
Mm-hmm.
So May 14th was our first episode. And actually, I think it was before that because we uploaded a bunch late. So 30 episodes in. Who would have thought we would have 30 episodes already and over 1,000 listeners on our way to 1,200 already? Today is December 8th, 2020. As always, I am Ryan, joined by
Marco
and
Micah.
Again, we are Fish and Grits, the podcast. For those of you listening on Anchor, thank you for subscribing and listening. For those that will be watching on YouTube, do not forget to press that like button, subscribe, and turn on that bell. We do go live there after every Falcons game, so we do have extra content for those viewing on YouTube that do not get them here in the podcast version.
Smash that subscribe button, hit that like, tap that bell,
beat it up like Nate Robinson's face. So a little bit of current events. The world's continuing to be crazy, man. Just like week after week, it's like, oh, cool. That's another thing. That's another thing that's happened in 2020. The biggest thing here, in my opinion, the one that's caught my eye the most is all this alien activity and alien talk. So an Israeli scientist / government official, former Israeli scientist and government official, I believe, came out and said that Israel had contact, and so have most world superpowers, with aliens for quite some time now.
Israel thinks they're a superpower. I'm just
they're the United States little friend in the courtyard, like, yeah, get him. So most superpowers have had contact with them. Like, there's like apparently some coalition on it, and they said that aliens are not being revealed to the public because the world isn't ready. Now, I know how crazy all that sounds. Like, if I were to hear myself saying this sentence like a year, maybe 2 ago, I'd be like, wow, put on your tinfoil hat, bro.
That's because you're late. You're late, bro.
I will openly admit to some being late on some of these things that I've looked at some of y'all sideways for years. Like, y'all are some weirdos. But you know what? Actually, Myron just showed up. So let's pull him in. And I want to get there because there's going to be a question at the end of this. So I want to pull him in, introduce him, and then get him up to date. So he should be joining here shortly. Hey, he's connecting with audio. We'll wait for them. What's up, Myron?
Yo, what's going on, man?
Not much. We actually had just started, and typically the way we start the show off is we kind of, do a like date for posterity. Then we do some current events so people kind of know where they are in time.
What's up, man?
Yeah. By the way, Myron, this is Micah and Marco.
What up, man?
How
going on?
And Myron, we'll give you a proper introduction to the audience here in a second. But what we're going to do is, we were already talking about this whole Israeli scientist / government official who had, said, hey, look, the world has known about aliens for a while, so on and so forth. Now, full disclaimer, I was just saying that if you would have told me about this type of stuff over a year ago, I'd look at you like you're crazy because I don't typically buy into the whole like aliens and all those type of things.
Right.
But and they said they're not being revealed to humanity because we're not ready, and all this fun stuff. But then there was the film that happened over the pyramid this last week, and the U.S. government actually declassified all those documents earlier this year of numerous sightings by naval aircrafts with encounters with UFOs. So, and you had this weird, strange obelisk thing happening this past week, which to me, I still think that has a little bit too much man-made craftsmanship on it. But to bring that all back around, what do you guys think about all this alien stuff here recently? Does it make you feel like some of you, Marco, does it make you feel a little clout for being ahead of everyone else for so long? Or are you still on the doubter side? Myron, since you are our guest, I will give you first go.
Maybe a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I agree with you. The whole the monoliths or whatever that have come, I think that's man-made. That's like lots of things that the government does. I think it's to detract our attention from other things. And my first question would be, why even tell us now? What's the purpose? Like, what has changed between yesterday, a year ago, 10 years ago to today? So I mean, do I think that
an art group took responsibility for it?
Oh, you said what?
Artist, art collector.
Oh, really? Okay. So my wife just said that an art group actually took responsibility for the monoliths.
Oh, okay.
So that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
So yeah, I mean, do I think that there are other beings out there potentially? Well, yeah, I mean, potentially. I mean, space is, we know nothing about space.
Right.
So I wouldn't put it past them, but I think it's a bunch of bullshit that, they're just bringing out. It's something to detract from something else.
Marco, since you're directly opposing view, I would guess, what's your view on all this?
Well, first, I like this. It's funny that it's always the retired or the fired government agent that's always coming out and leaking stuff. It's never like somebody who's currently working with them, which I guess is for obvious reasons. But what I'd say is that I'm of the firm belief that most crafts that we see are probably government built, and that they back in the 60s and the 50s, and that a lot of this technology was reverse manufactured. So I think that, and the other thing I'd say is that I do think that the government doesn't give people enough credit. Like, I feel if we really discovered aliens existed, within the week, people wouldn't care anymore. They just be like, next story.
That's kind of what happened, though, when they released all those documents and declassified all of them. Certain people were like, look, I told you. And most of society was like,
And I'm not conspiracy clout chasing, so no, it wouldn't give me any kind of affirmation. I don't care what other people believe, honestly.
Micah, what's your view?
Oh, man. Like I said, I'm kind of like Myron. I kind of on the fence on both of it, because while a lot of this stuff is just crazy and kind of hard to deny, I still don't put it past the government to try and pull a fast one, like one of those David Blaine magic tricks or something. Trump's trying to do some big move to before hey, just throw him a little bit of the throw him a little bit of Area 51 information.
Look over here.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's I believe that it could possibly be true, but like I said, I don't trust the government enough to have faith in a lot of what we've seen. So,
well, being someone who has worked for the government in the military and seeing how really just dumb the system is. You know, obviously the higher ups they have all that, but it's hard to spend 4 years in government and you're like, I'll give them a lot of credit. A lot of these people are just really dumb. So I'm always skeptic on that side, but I get what you're saying. I definitely believe that, you know, higher up, they do some things like that where it's like a distraction over here so they can sneak a bill past us or do something else real shady. Anyway, off of the conspiracy things. This past week we had the debates, or kind of the debates here in Georgia for the runoff election, where John Ossoff, our local senator here, debated a podium, and Raphael Warnock debated a robotic version of a woman, a cyborg. I'm so tired of talking about politics. Unless y'all really want to dive into this, I'm all for just skipping it. What do y'all think?
I didn't even watch the debates. I mean, it was no point in watching.
I feel like that's how everyone is.
It was only one problem I had with it, and I get that Warnock's a pastor, but the fact that she constantly referred to him as radical liberal Warnock, I would have said something to the extent of, refer to me as my name, or I'll refer to you as inside trader Kelly Loeffler. So it was just like, yo, the disrespect. But I mean, all it was the conservatives just the talking points regurgitated, and then so it was just.
Do y'all feel that these debates really sway anybody?
I was just about to say that. Like, I always feel like overall, it's almost like I feel like people, especially in a runoff, people already sort of decided who they're gonna vote for, and I don't think anything that they say really puts any kind of cherry on top of anything. It's just like, okay, they're just.
It really these debates are for the folks in the middle.
Yeah,
Who's in the middle
exactly.
anymore?
I mean, well, like, cause I mean, there was enough. Like, well, the races were close enough, especially between Warnock and Loeffler, that if he could get a few of a good bit of those folks who voted like in the middle, then he could steal the election. Ossoff needed a little more, but yeah, I mean, that's really who it's for. You know, the folks who might have voted libertarian, or that no-name guy that nobody knows about, that, and or wrote in their name, like that time I wrote in Fred McGriff for president. So that's all who it's for. So
yeah, it's you would think that it's surprising that people are still quote unquote undecided. I mean, same thing with the presidential election. You would think that enough people would have seen enough foolishness over the past 4 years that, even if you don't necessarily vote Democratic or didn't agree with Biden, you didn't want, Trump, but clearly it was close enough.
yeah.
So yeah, it is for the people who, for whatever reason, are undecided and they just want to hear a little more.
Yeah.
Which is basically, I think, is bullshit, because I think it's just they want to hear a reason to not vote for, in this case, Democrats.
Right. That's how that's what I see it as too.
They already don't feel they're not going to vote for Democrats, not unless there is a specific reason. I mean, shit. The presidential debate, Trump didn't even on live television didn't denounce white supremacy. If folks still voted for him, they was like, oh well, he didn't mean that. I was like, what do you mean he didn't mean that?
Yeah.
Right.
So people are going to do what they're going to do anyway. So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Not to beat a dead horse, because I think we all have talked enough politics for this year. Big news is the vaccine is going to be widely released tomorrow.
Dropping tomorrow in store.
Check out
that
my
new
mixtape.
Exclusive.
Are any of you guys going to be early adopters?
No. No. I mean, I didn't want the Granted, I didn't want the first PS5, so I'm definitely not going to get the first vaccine.
I'd say the only caveat that would make me even want to get the vaccine is A, if they forgive all my student loan debt, and or B, if they pay me like $2,500 to get that. Two things which I have actually seen floated out there.
I mean, I could be convinced for a nice check because
Yeah.
I already got COVID. I already had it earlier this year, so I'll be like, yeah, I could chance it again.
Wait, I think you are our first guest with COVID. Please
Yeah.
explain your experience.
Oh yeah, it was in March, early March, in fact. And I actually found out when I got it. 'Cause a friend of mine who lives in New York was visiting that weekend, and that's right when they were shutting down JFK. And he was already at the airport, and so they let them fly. They didn't shut it down, but they shut down JFK like I think like the next day. So he was visiting, and like I think that was a Friday or a Saturday he came through. We had some friends over drinking beers or whatnot. And in hindsight, I knew exactly what it was because I have all these like different taster glasses, and I had a couple that were the same. So I think we accidentally drunk out the same one. And so a few days afterwards, he texts me. He's like, "Hey, how are you feeling?" And I was like, "I'm good." And he was like, "I'm not feeling too great, but it's fine." He's a pastor. He had to do a wedding, whatever. But then I started feeling shitty like the day after that, and I was like, "Do you think you got COVID?" He was like, "Man," and the funny thing is, he's Chinese too, so he felt super bad. He was like, "Dude," he was like, "Man, folks are gonna fucking hate me."
He's finding stigma and a pandemic at the same time. Like,
right. But my experience of that, as far as like actual symptoms, I think the worst was I had a fever. It was an up and down fever. Like I would have it would be over 100 one day. The next day, I get it down to like 99. Then I go back up to 101 or 2. The highest I got was 103.9, actually. And then I completely lost my sense of smell. Like I have a now 1-year-old son. At that point, he was 4 months. So I'm talking about a blowout diaper in my face. I couldn't smell a thing.
Man.
Like nothing, absolutely nothing. But I didn't go to the hospital. The hospital told me to stay home. Actually,
Keep your ass up.
right. It was early on. So first of all, they didn't have any room except for extreme cases. Like the nurse literally told me, she's like, "If you can breathe, then don't come." It's like, "Don't come until you have a problem breathing." And I was like, "Well, it might be too late then, but okay." But yeah, that was the worst of it, and that lasted for maybe about 10 days or so. So, and luckily, my wife and my son, they didn't exhibit symptoms, so they could have been asymptomatic because obviously I wasn't going anywhere. We were in the house for those 2 weeks that I was sick, and definitely had to still take care of a newborn.
right.
And they didn't show any symptoms at all, which was thank God nothing happened to him or her. But I was fine eventually. I mean, of course, my wife, my mom, my parents were hella worried, but I was trying to knock it out. Like my mom, when my wife was going to take me to the hospital when my fever got to 103.9. I texted my homeboy, he's a nurse at Emory actually, and I asked him, I was like, "Hey, what would you call a bad fever?" And he was like, "Oh, well, anything over 100, you should probably get checked out." I was like, "Oh, okay." And he was like, "Wait a minute, what is yours at?" And I was like, 103.9. He was like, "What the fuck is your problem, dude?"
Right.
He was like, "You need to go to the hospital now." And I was like, "No, I'll just get some ice packs." He was like, "Okay, fuck me then. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about."
Fuck my degree, I guess.
Exactly. But I literally just like almost did like an ice bath.
Jesus.
And it brought the shit down like in 30 minutes.
Nice.
But yeah, in hindsight, it wasn't too bad.
It was like having a really bad. Well, I don't want to do this, so never mind. That sentence won't even come out of my mouth. But yeah, it was.
People always compare it to the flu. I've actually never had the flu, so I wouldn't know.
Okay.
because I don't.
The flu sucks.
That's what I hear. I've never had the flu.
Yeah, like
until-
chills and fever and
Yeah.
Yeah, no energy.
weakness, general
I
weakness.
mean, all the symptoms are the same.
Yeah.
Except you don't your lungs don't fill up with liquid.
right.
That's
Right.
the big difference. Yeah. So typically we'd introduce you beforehand, but since we were already in the middle of that those current events, I figured, let you jump right in. But formally, let's go ahead and get you introduced here, Myron. This is for those who are in our listening audience. This is Myron Green. He is one of the members of the Atlanta podcast. He's someone I've known through a friend for about 10 years now.
Yeah, that was college. So yeah.
At least 10 years.
Yeah. Oh man. Wow.
Yeah. Every time those memories pop up on Facebook, I'm like, I remember that. Kind of. Most of that trip was a blur.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. I think I slept outside one night.
You did.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
What was this trip?
We were in Destin or Panama City Beach. One
Panama.
of the
It
two.
was PCB.
Yeah. Went to Panama City Beach. I think it was when I was at Florida Cormica, so it was around that time. Me, Zyra, one of Zyra's friends who Myron was dating at the time, and a bunch of other people all went down there.
Sort of, because that whole trip was weird for multiple reasons. Because my ex-girlfriend at the time was literally the ex. We had broken up before that trip.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it was super awkward for me because I didn't know anybody on the trip except for her, and we
Right.
weren't really talking. And it's just like, oh, well, this is fun. So I just got drunk with Ryan and what was it, Zyra's brother?
Juan
And
her boyfriend at the time, and Akash was there as well.
Yeah, Akash.
It was an interesting concoction of people there. It was and most of us were like, don't know you, but hey, we're here. Let's drink. It's the beach.
Exactly.
So we got a couple questions for you if you don't mind, and then what we would like, if depending on your time, you're welcome to join us to talk about some sports afterwards. It's typically what we revolve around. I know you guys do talk about some sports on the Atlanta podcast as well, but y'all do some huge things that we'll get into. So, depending on what your schedule looks like, you're more than welcome to stick around with us, or, if you got to dip out, I understand. Being a parent and a husband, time is also constricted here.
Oh yeah, no, we're good. I mean, he's running around whining. I'm sure you could probably hear him over my headphones.
Oh yeah, he's making an appearance on the podcast.
Yeah.
So how long have you been podcasting? Is the Atlanta podcast your first podcast, or is this, something that you've done before? What's your history look like with that?
So it is my first podcast. Excuse me. And we've been doing it. I think at this point maybe a little over 3 years, which is crazy to say. Because it's three of us. It's me, my homeboys, Christian Andrews, and Justin Wilson. And I think it was more so Christian's idea, because we've been friends since college too. And so typically you have your hangouts where we chilling at the crib, drinking, watching something, and just talking shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we would get into some really good discussions or debates, or crazy stuff. So we're like, oh, let's record it and see what it is. And so we started it. I forget what our very first episode was, what we were talking about, but we were in like my closet in my room, huddled around this one microphone, just drinking, and it was just like weird. And we just got drunk and was talking about random stuff. But it's grown since then to more so where we started as just the three of us talking about a current event or topic or something like that. As we've gotten some connections or met various people in Atlanta, in and around Atlanta, we've kind of turned into an interview podcast, interviewing Atlanta notables, which wasn't necessarily the goal, but it just turned out that way. Um, through my connections in the beer industry, at the time I worked at a brewery as a hobby, which I technically still do, or I'm on the payroll at least. I haven't worked there in a year, but I got a W-2 this year for like $13. So,
Nice.
but through that and through meeting by happenstance various people at bars or at events and whatnot, we've gotten some traction in the Atlanta community. We've had Javita Moore on. We had the CEO of Butter ATL, Brandon, on. We had Frico. Frico's a big artist here. He does like Action Bronson's cover art. We've like various people who are like really like down with us, since then, because we're very unfiltered. Obviously we drink on the podcast, but I think we give people, make them more comfortable. It's not like a interview. It's just like, oh, come hang with us and talk, and that's it.
Right.
So it's been fun. It's been a fun ride.
You sipping on anything right now? Where's your drink at?
I am not, which I debated because went kind of hard last night. Well, I wouldn't say kind of hard, but for a Monday night, yeah. And I'm just like, I was trying to limit my drinking throughout the week because working from home basically all year hasn't done me any favors as far as weight control. And it's like, okay, you know what? Let me try to do some workouts at home and try to cap the drinking. But I mean, it doesn't work. I've been working out though, so I haven't gained any more weight, but I don't think I've lost any yet.
That's good.
But I think I might though. I'm feeling a little peckish. Let me see what I got. Oh, actually, since y'all are here, so another thing, if you don't know about me, like I said, connections in the beer industry, whatnot. Me and my wife are big beer snobs. So actually, I'll show you downstairs first. So we record in my basement.
Oh, that's your basement.
Yeah. So it's my beer basement. Let's go down here. So
behind
we're
the
down,
scenes.
right. So this is where we record. It's my basement. It's nothing special, but literally that almost like 90s, 80s basement feel. But this is the beer fridge, bunch of stickers.
Nice.
And
Loaded.
this is the beer.
Oh, you put my little mini fridge behind me to shame, man.
What's
Those
your
are some-
favorite? What's your
Well, this
favorite
is-
at the moment?
This is one of the beer fridges. I have 3 fridges.
What would you recommend out of there for our listening audience? What's your favorite beer at the moment?
Let's see. Something local, of course, that you can get in the A. Actually, shit. I haven't had this. Well, I wouldn't say that's local. They're up in Cherry Street Brewing. They're up in where are they? Cumming, Georgia. So that's not too local.
Well, the way they draw these counties, I don't know. I think everything's Atlanta now.
This is true. But Orpheus, actually, that's where I work. They're they're right at Piedmont Park,
Mhm.
Okay.
basically at the backside of the park. They're making some dope stuff, and I actually want something a little lighter, so I might do an 11% instead.
Oh yeah, let's go for it, bro. Let's make this podcast real interesting.
I need some of that 11%.
Oh man, Jason. So Jason, he's the brewmaster and owner of Orpheus. He makes great beer in general, but his 2 specialties are stouts, barrel aged stouts, and sours.
Ah, Not too favorite.
and he's always like high on the ABVs, man. It's like I don't have a problem with it. I love high gravity beers and whatnot, but it sneaks up on people because it doesn't taste real boozy. You'll be drinking a literal 14% stout, and you're like, oh, this is a little sweet, a little good. You look at the label, you're like, what the fuck?
Stand up and it goes all to your head.
Exactly. So yeah, I would say definitely for anybody trying out local beers, that's one place to definitely either start or end is Orpheus.
Nice.
So speaking about local beers, how cool was it to see your face on a beer?
Dude, I sent some to like my cousin. We got so we actually have, if y'all want some too, y'all can have some, but we got a big roll of the labels
Nice.
because they ordered too many of the labels. So I literally have, this is probably like 2,000 labels. It's unnecessary left over. But that was a dope experience. Not only to, I've been around beer, so I've helped brew beer before. But actually being part of the process, not only in the back end, but the front end, as far as sending stuff out for labels, working with the Georgia Department of something or rather, I forget what it's called, as far as like the ABV and the naming, stuff like that. that was always a cool experience. And again, my face will always at least be on the beer. So yeah, that was actually sweet. Yeah, that was a good experience. And then Pontoon Brewing was the brewery that we worked with, and the homies over there are always good people. It's Marcus and Sean. Marcus, by the way, is like the second white guy I've known named Marcus, and his name is Marcus Powers too.
Marcus Powers.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? Who are you?
Right.
If I had to guess that person's ethnicity off a name, white would not be my first guess.
and the thing is, the second guy named Marcus that I know is my neighbor. Who I'm just like, wait a minute, I feel like there's something weird going on. Hold
That's
on,
funny.
what is wrong with you?
He's like, I'm just being a baby, Dad. That's what
Yeah,
I do.
He's throwing a tantrum.
Doing baby things.
But
Yeah.
as a Killer Mike fan, I thought that was even better that that your beer got him in contact with y'all. So
Yeah. So I mean, kind of a small backstory on how that started. So Sean, who's the CEO of Pontoon, Sean O'Keefe, so that night when the infamous night of the Atlanta riots or whatever, he texted me. He was like, hey man, he's like, I kind of conflicted with everything that's going on, and I just want your perspective on it because we've known each other for a little bit, at that point in time. And he said, as a business owner, if I had my business in downtown and it got wrecked, he's like, I'd be pissed. But he's on the flip side, I also understand why people are upset. But he just said, yeah, I don't understand why, go for the looting, the rioting, things of that nature. And so I posed him a simple question. I said, okay, so what do you tell somebody who is backed in a corner and has done everything you ask him to and it still doesn't work? What do you ask him to do? And he didn't know. Like, he'd say, I don't know. And I said, exactly. It's, if you tell people, oh, well, go to police. Well, if you go to police, they're obviously not the most trustworthy. You protest peacefully. Well, we see what happened with Kaepernick and whatnot. And the famous quote for me, from MLK is, violence is the voice of the unheard. Not that I necessarily condone violence, absolutely not, but I understand. It's like you're frustrated. People are dying or being wronged, and nobody's listening. But what does the government listen to? Money.
Yeah.
When you start fucking shit up, then they're like, whoa, 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 wait, calm down. Let's talk about this.
Right.
So that's how it started. And then, from there, he's like, oh, we should, I told him, I was like, we should, well, he wanted a place where not only does he want to understand the community in general a lot more, but he wants to bring people from different backgrounds to a common place to talk, to have conversations that, hey, I'm from here, you're from there, but we can at least, come over a common thing, such as have a beer and just talk about things in general. So that's where we started this brewing conversations thing, where we do a live show, live podcasts at the brewery, and we do a collaborative beer with someone from the community. So a Black business owner, or someone, doing it, coming up in the Atlanta area, things of that nature. And, portion of proceeds will go to community building profits, things of that nature. So that's how it started. It was literally that night. We were just going back and forth texting, and then, here we are.
That's what's up.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's where I wanted to go next with this, is how obviously you've done a lot of groundwork and a lot of legwork to building these relationships over time throughout the community, and a lot of local, well-respected places by Atlanta natives and people who do the Atlanta scene. And it seems like recently through this, it's really come to a culmination here. It's starting to really pay off in the long run. You guys are becoming, in my opinion, kind of like the podcast voice of Atlanta. And you
I hope so.
I mean, if you look at your presence on Instagram, granted, some of these pages like Butter have a ton of followers, but podcasts, podcasts take a little bit more to gain followers in that, but y'all have a healthy amount, and you have these relationships with people like Butter and people like Atlanta Influences Everything. And you guys are able to, tap into those markets as well. And, you see your memes shared around, and you see things like that shared in the same veins and same communities as Butter. So, it's quite impressive what you guys have, really started to become here. And I know you don't speak for all three of you, but how have you kind of reflected on the past year, and how have you felt about all this, this really starting to do things like this?
So I think, this entire year with the pandemic, whatnot, has been a gift and a curse. The curse is, goes without saying, folks are getting sick and dying, so that's obviously never a good thing. But for me personally, in two aspects, personal life, and then, hobby, podcast life. Personally, it's been a good thing for me, because since I've been forced to work from home, which again, I'm not complaining about that. But my son, this is my first child, and yeah, I normally wouldn't have this time with him. Here in America, you get, if you do get paternity leave, you get 2 weeks. And so being at home, my son has actually been, great. Spending this time that I normally wouldn't have. As far as podcasting is concerned, I think this was a good year for us to gain some more followers, and take advantage of the relationships that we've contracted over the time, because people were in solitary. They were bored at home, and a lot more people have either listened to more podcasts or picked up podcasting themselves this year, amongst other hobbies. So that definitely helped us, I think. And it helped us with trying to find different avenues to reach people. Um, because normally, especially in Atlanta, Atlanta's, one of the most popular cities in the country. And like Tory and Bain would say, Atlanta literally does influence everything. So if you weren't really seen at a party or something like that, people really didn't know you unless, somebody that knows somebody. But now that, your online presence is just what can you provide as far as entertainment, I think that has helped us too. And people are like, well, I've heard of the Atlanta podcast, but I don't know who these guys are. These are random dudes that just, drink beer and talk about whatever. And I like that space that we're in and growing in because I equate it to, I was talking to Christian the other day. I'd say I want to be, I don't necessarily have to be famous myself, but I would like to be the friend of somebody famous to where, if you're on, you're on the red carpet and folks are like, oh shit, it's Killer Mike, it's this that, and the other. And it's just random people behind him. Like, who the fuck is that? Right. Like, oh, we don't know. This is probably his entourage or whatever. I'm like, that's the perfect place to be, in my opinion. Because I get out, you would get invited to all these exclusive events or opportunities and things of that nature, but there's no paparazzi. Like folks, like I walk down the street and folks like, who the fuck are you? Like, so and that's perfect for me, So yeah, I think this, like I said, it's been a gift and a curse as far as the pandemic this year, but at least for me personally, I think the silver lining has been quite great.
It's been really cool, and you guys have, for those who don't listen or have not listened yet, it's definitely worth a listen. You guys put out a very quality product, good recommendations, good conversations, and very entertaining.
I appreciate it. I mean, we try. I mean, as you see, it can be a dumpster fire of sorts, or what we think, and then we listen to it, we're like, oh shit, that was actually kind of funny.
Right.
So, but yeah, we
what was
appreciate
the last episode?
The last one, did we interview somebody? Or were we just... Oh, actually, no. I think the last episode was our brewing conversations where we interviewed. So I don't know. Have y'all guys watched the Great American Barbecue Showdown on Netflix?
Yeah.
So Rashid, he came second place. That's the homie. So
oh, nice.
We did a collaborative beer with him. It was a smoked porter. He smoked all the malts for the beer himself. It's called Tall, Dark, and Smoky for obvious reasons.
Oh, I got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was with Rashid Phillips of Phillips Barbecue. Yeah, that's the homie. So yeah, that was the last episode we did. And Ashley, the other contestant on the show, the guy from North Carolina, I believe, he actually drove down and surprised them. He came on the show for a few minutes too.
That's cool.
So yeah, that was the last episode. Yeah, that was a fun one. Rashid is he's a cool dude. Yeah, he's always fun. His barbecue is ridiculous, man. Like he probably has the best ribs I've ever had. Period, hands down, the best.
Phillips Barbecue.
Phillips Barbecue.
That's here in Atlanta.
Yep.
Where?
Hey, check him out on IG. He sells online, and he'll do pop-ups where you can pick up or whatnot. But he's at Pontoon actually a lot. That's where he technically started, if you will. But yeah, Phillips Barbecue. I can look up his. What was I looking up?
Here he is. Phillips Barbecue Company.
Yes, sir.
Georgia. Yep. So yeah,
Yep.
For those listening, it's Phillips with one L, barbecue spelled out with a Q, Co. on Instagram.
Yeah, his barbecue is crazy good. I mean, if you saw the show, the competition on Netflix, you see he's the real deal.
Yeah.
And he was in the finals for a reason. But yeah, he's here in Atlanta. You can find him. Like I said, he's at pontoon quite often, actually, selling out. But now at this point, I mean, his following, blew up after Netflix for obvious reasons.
Right.
So now he quit his job and he's doing barbecue full time now.
Nice.
Good shit.
So
Entrepreneur spirit.
Does he deliver?
deliver, no, but you can do drive-by pickup. You
Okay,
can order online and pick it up, easy peasy.
that works.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
actually got one of Micah's buddies here is almost an identical story to that.
Oh, nice.
Well, I got a couple chef friends though, but his name is Chef Flu. Well, they call him Chef Flu, but it's Fred Fluellen. And recently he just catered Carrie Hilson's birthday party, like birthday slumber party.
Oh, dope.
And so like you just see like on her Instagram feed, you just see him in the background with all the food. His fish and grits and smoked salmon mac and cheese
Oh,
are
snap.
ridiculous.
Wait,
Hey,
Carrie
say no
Hilson had
more.
a birthday slumber party?
Yeah, she did it at the Atlanta Treehouse, and I just happened to be going through because like she made a post and I was swiping and I went, "That's Flu." I was like, "Oh shit!" I sent it to Mike. I was like, "Look who I see."
I would think the highlight of that story is, oh yeah, his food is good. I was like, but wait a minute, you were at a slumber party with Carrie Hilson,
Right.
so how
Well,
did that go?
Here's the funny thing. I've actually known Carrie Hilson since before she was famous.
Oh, okay.
So like my dad's a banker. Her mom was a client of my dad's. So like my oldest sister used to work for her mom. I've known like I've been to their house. I got lost in their basement because they have money. They had money before.
Right.
So you're trying to say Carrie Hilson sleepovers are no foreign thing?
That's what I'm hearing.
He's like,
You
just a
know.
little slight flex,
Look,
I've gone to several of her sleepovers.
I would love to. Look, I'm single. I hope she's single. We could work something out. It ain't no thing.
You're like, remember me?
I'm a lot older, a lot taller.
A little wiser. You learn some things.
Yeah.
that You can maybe teach her, maybe. I mean, these are your words, not mine. So if she's listening,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a
That's-
frequent listener of Fishing
that's
Grits, the
that's all,
podcast.
Mike. I'm a happily married man.
Look, they say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So yeah, I'll go ahead and shoot that one.
We'll throw it. Make this a highlight and throw a tag her way and see.
I'm just hoping not to Russell Westbrook it.
Mm.
Oh no.
Hey, volume shooter. Yo, all jokes aside, though, that is literally how we've gotten some of the guests that we've gotten on the show, is just sliding DMs. Like, Javita Moore
Yeah.
had no idea or inkling that she was going to come on the show at all. Again, volume shooter, just shooting shots. Like, hey, we Atlanta podcast, blah blah blah. It's like, oh, this is Javita Moore. She's on TV every day. Who's going to go to 3 random strangers in a basement? Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, she was like, oh, cool, I'll come through. And I was like, what?
Wait,
I was, and we're like, oh no, she's probably that's not even her. It's probably just somebody they're gonna, exactly. But she showed up to my house. She walked right in the fucking door, actually.
The door was open.
Well, yeah. So she had texted, Christians like, oh hey, I think this is the spot because we recorded at my house. So she was just waiting outside, and obviously she's no dummy. So she came with another person, and we found out after the fact that she was strapped too.
What?
Jovita ain't no punk.
Which makes sense because again, 3 random strangers in a basement. I would have been strapped too.
What? She could have reported her own news.
Exactly.
Somebody ran up on me. I had to blast them.
Coming live.
Exactly. But yes, but again, it's like getting shooting shots in the DM. We were just like, oh, Well, cool.
So I have a question sort of based on that. Which of your guests have you like seen the biggest like increase in like followers or like interactions or traffic after you had them on?
Well, Javita was one, but I would say maybe Frico,
Mm.
or maybe not the biggest increase, but like some low key followers that we probably wouldn't have had was Maya Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Maya Bailey is the owner of City of Ink, celebrity tattoo artist here in Atlanta. Cool dude, man. Cool dude. He got a dope area over there, Peter Street Station. But that one was, I think, a unique follow because he does his annual block party, and Big Crit is a big fan of his. I mean, that's where Crit goes to get his tattoos. So I unfortunately did not get to go that night, but Christian and Justin did, and they just walked up, and him and Crit are on the couch smoking, and they're just like, "What the fuck?" They're like, "Oh, come sit down," or whatever. And I was like, "Shit, I wish I would have gone." But yeah, I think between Frico and like Maya Bailey, those were some good bumps to the follow list.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like when I first started listening to you guys, it's crazy because I started listening to you guys first, and then I was like, wait, that's fucking Myron.
Right.
I know him.
Oh, actually, no. Another one though. When we did the donut collab, that was in Forbes.
Oh yeah.
With Kamal from Sublime Donuts. That was a good one too. So my homie, she is a guest writer, a contract writer for Forbes, and she did that. She was like, "Hey, I'll just put that in the." She's a food and liquor blogger, so she sometimes writes for Forbes, and so like that was just off the strength. I was like, "Oh shit, we get a free Forbes, run it." But yeah, that one with Kamal, that was a good one too, just because the cause was great too, and the donut was phenomenal. It was a lemon pepper donut in the shape of an A. Flames, flames. Kamal is a genius. Like he made it. Oh man, like
wait. The lemon pepper donut. What is like what kind of is it on a glazed donut? How is this?
It was a yeast donut filled with cracked pepper cream with lemon zest, and then a lemon glaze with gold sprinkles in the shape of an A. Dude.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy. Did not know how it was going to taste until Kamal made a sample, and he came on the show and gave it to us, and we were like, it was better than what we even expected, because we were just wondering. Yeah, exactly. That's the donut, and then Kamal had even said, granted it was a one-time thing, for charity, this and the other, but so many people liked it. He said he might, make that a reoccurring like seasonal thing, because he does crazy like Sublime Donuts. They do crazy different flavors, especially for Halloween or April Fool's Day. But he wasn't thinking about the lemon pepper donut that was actually sweet, not savory.
Yeah.
But it worked. Like that shit was fire.
I love Sublime.
Oh, I've definitely drop that $20-something on
every time,
and like I'll just share them with my coworkers, and they're,
I don't share my Sublime.
Well,
right.
I'm generous like that.
So what he's saying is he buys a dozen, but he shares the 6. And tells them that he bought a half dozen. That's what I'm hearing.
The strawberry cream, I always keep for myself.
That's a favorite one.
But typically, like the Reese's is a little too rich with the chocolate with the peanut chocolate and peanut butter, and my coworker always takes that one. I'm just like, all right, that's yours. So yeah.
Reese's is my favorite candy, and I agree. It's a little bit too much.
Yeah, that donut you can split and share with somebody.
Yeah.
For sure.
That one. But that strawberry and cream, nah.
Boy. No,
Yeah,
that's mine every time.
Don't you touch this.
No.
And it's plain, but I also like the white chocolate one. It's just a nice.
Yeah.
sweet
That's a good one too. Speaking of chocolate, by the way, I lied and said I was going to drink Orpheus, but this is another local brewery. This is a Variant Brewing. They're up in Roswell, and this is their Chaos Imperial Stout with ghost chili peppers.
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm a spicy fiend. Like I've done the hot ones challenge. I've done the Death Nut challenge. You know, I like super spicy stuff. So this is just a good beer to me.
So when you drink that, does it give you? Because I know chocolate also has sort of like an acid component. Do you get acid reflux when you drink that spicy chocolate beer?
I don't. Like I have a pretty good stomach. Even when, like I said, when I did the hot ones challenge. I don't know if y'all seen that show on YouTube. Yeah. First of all, great show. That guy is a phenomenal interviewer.
Boy, he is the best interviewer.
His questions be on point.
The research he does, and then the way he weaves them into the conversation, you're like, damn, Sean.
Yeah. Like I'm just like, wow, like I would like to be on that level. But like even when I did that, you know, the next day was not bad. It wasn't too bad. Some friends I did it with, you know, they were screaming. Well, their butt was screaming. But mine was pretty good. I'd like to say my stomach can handle certain things pretty well. So like, you know, spicy beer, this is light work. This is light work right here.
Did you nibble the packing or take full bites?
Oh, the wings?
Yeah.
So here's what we did. So we did at our friend's house, and he smoked a bunch of wings. You know, went to Costco. You know, we all bought all the sauces, went to Costco, smoked a ton of wings, and divided them up and tossed the sauce or tossed the wings in each sauce. And I was trying to see how far I can get without drinking anything. And it was at that season, I forget what season it was that we did, but that was 11 different sauces. And it did not get bad. You know, I ate the whole wing because that's what we, you know, as friends, we were like, no, you can't take a bite. Because I hate when, you know, celebrities on the show, they just take a little bite and they just throw it away. I'm like, yo, first of all, you wasting chicken. Like that's a no-no.
Yeah.
You wasting wings. And then, you know, you come on now, do the whole thing. But so you had to clean your wing until you move on to the next one. So I think out of 11 sauces, I think I got to maybe 8 or 9. No, I think it was like 8. If you go on my Instagram, it was like a couple years ago, so I got to scroll back. But I had a couple of videos where I'm literally sweating from like every orifice in my body. And I think it was that number 8 sauce, and that shit was painful. And I had to drink a cup of milk or something like that. And then my homegirl, we were at her house, she got 2% milk. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, I need the fat solubles. What? I was like, 2% milk? She was like, oh, she's a like vegan or whatever. She's like, oh, well, you know, I thought trying to get some health. I was like, fuck health. I'm done. Like, what are you doing? But no, I mean, that was fun though. I'd do it again, actually. Yeah, I'd do it again.
Have you tried the Packy One Chip challenge?
Not yet, but I have 2 in the drawer right now.
You ready?
That I'm waiting because a friend of mine wanted to do it. Another friend, he gave me the shit because he did it with his family over Thanksgiving.
Is that the one?
No, I was actually working
This is another
out.
sweaty picture.
Yes.
That's a workout sweat.
Yeah, that's a good sweat. Like it's a video. It's 2 videos. If you
I
if
saw.
you scroll back,
Yeah,
right?
I saw.
Yeah. and I'm just literally like I can hardly talk. It was yes, yes,
Sick.
that video and like the one before after it. It's like I'm struggling. But yeah,
That
the package chip is next. I plan on doing that next, and I'll do a video for that one because I hear that one's actually pretty bad. So we'll see.
Oh man.
that's awesome. Yeah, I like spices, but I don't think I like them like that. Especially now that I've gotten older, and it's like I eat something hot, and I wake up in the night, and I'm like, that burns.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of link these two together here because I want an answer because we had talked about something a while back, especially when all that was happening with certain individuals whose names rhyme with Siller, like, not to give that away or anything, but what's next for what would you want it to be, and what do you think is next for the Atlanta podcast?
What do I want? Honestly, I think um, long-term sponsorship. That so we're currently on like a sort of trial period, if you will. Butter ATL is sponsoring us. They sponsored us the past few months. Um, but well, I'll say twofold: long-term sponsorship, but I want to see us grow as a show to sort of expand and not just be a podcast where either we're just talking or even with guests. That's fun, and great and entertaining. But maybe sort of like more so a morning show type deal, like a live type morning show type deal.
Kind of like
That's
Good Mythical Morning in that vein.
yeah, low key. Just because I feel like podcasts are not they don't force anybody to listen.
Mhm.
It's your choice. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of podcasts out on Spotify, on Apple, like pick your poison. Like they're everywhere. But if a show, it's like, oh, we're on at 9 and 6, and if not, you don't really catch. I mean, of course, you can catch recording, but being live and having someone make a active choice to tune in, I think that's where I want to be in that space because then I feel like that kind of fandom is like real.
Right. It creates
Now,
sort of like the want and the need to be there while it's happening in a sense, right?
exactly. And not just the show too. It's like, the show, I still want us to do like different like charity parties, like our Christmas party last year, which was really dope. Stuff like that. I want, an interactive, like I think what has me thinking about it is I'm currently listening to one of my favorite podcasts, Dissect Podcast on Spotify. If you haven't listened to it, dope, dope, dope. Like I'm a big music person. I played music all throughout school. Um, I have, I have a tattoo of a bass guitar on my arm. I got a drum set downstairs, keyboard, two bass guitars, trumpet, clarinet. Like I have everything. So I'm a big, I have vinyl, stuff like that. But Dissect Podcast is hosted by Cole Kushner. He does literary and musical analysis of albums over the course of 10 to 15 episodes, and the depth he goes into this analysis is phenomenal. And currently the current season is Childish Gambino because of the internet.
Oh wow.
And
Love
so yeah, dope. If again, check out Dissect Podcast, Dissect. But in one of the interview clips he had on there, Donald Glover is. By the way, I would love to have him on the show. Like that would be hella dope. But
Mhm.
he's Donald Glover is saying that making an album is kind of boring and stupid. not just making a music album, but he said, we have the power to make worlds. So he said, if I'm gonna make a music album, I'm gonna make a interactive movie, a script. I want people to live it, like have a theme park, like something interactive on multiple facets, to where you're not just listening, but you're reading, you're experiencing, you're this that, and the other. And I think after listening to that over the past, couple of weeks, that's got my mind thinking like, oh, he has a point, because that, like you said, Marco, it not only drives the want, but it has people truly engaged in whatever you're doing or giving or experiencing. So I want to try to bring our podcasts closer, in that vein, if we can.
Anything.
I know that was a long-winded answer to part of your question and what is next. So we are in talks, which probably more so going in a positive direction than not. Doing a collaboration beer with Atlanta Influences Everything. That'll be in distribution. So that'll be dope. And I think our next episode, either our next episode or in a couple episodes, we're going to have this guy, Scott. He's the graphic designer for Killer Mike. And he's coming on the podcast. So that as far as like immediate next things, like that's what's coming up down the pipe.
Dope. All right. So tell the people where they can find you.
So of course, all social media, but Instagram is obviously probably one of the most popular ones, the main ones people go to. Go to our Instagram, The Atlanta Podcast. It's THE Atlanta. Atlanta, spell it properly, not Atlanta. Which,
Atlanta.
Exactly. The Atlanta Podcast on IG. We have our link tree there. Also find us on Spotify, Apple, anywhere you subscribe to podcasts, Facebook, all that. And then just around the block, I'm usually at probably any and every brewery. So if anybody wants to pull up and have a drink, just hit me up. I'll be out either with the baby or actually no, probably he drinks too. So
Start him early.
Exactly.
Look here, son. We're gonna train this liver.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's the only way to beat alcoholism, right?
Out train it.
Exactly.
Get a head start.
Oh man, that was awesome.
So how's been podcasting for y'all?
Guys, y'all want to, or you want me to take first swing at it?
You can go first.
You go first.
It's been exciting. It's been fun. We started off as a foursome. One of our other guys, he parenting and job, he's trying to start a company as well. So life just got the best of him. I think he did about 10 to 15 with us, really solid ones. And then life just
like 20. I think he was there till like episode.
Yeah, he missed a few in there though. So that's why I say 15. But yeah, I'll give him 20. But that's no slight to him. He was awesome. He was kind of our like de facto host, but since then we've all just kind of picked up the slack and just ran with it there, and it's turned out good. But to give your answer, it's been hella rewarding. We've had some people on, like you were mentioning earlier with just shooting your shot. That's what I did. Like I was just going like, hey, do you want to come on? Like, we're not, we don't have a big following yet, but this is what we do, so on and so forth. And like third episode, we had one of the hosts from 92.9 on. He was with us talking sports, and then from there we picked up Brett Coleman, who is a huge YouTuber.
Nice.
He does NFL breakdowns and things like that. Used to work in NFL. We've had Canadian football Hall of Famers on. We've had other social media influencers, and we just had the duo from the guy on the third show, Andy and Randy. So the actual host of the midday show on 92.9, and one of them being a former NFL athlete. So we've got to meet and talk to some really cool people, and we're we're slowly building some footing here. I've been reaching out to other people who are giving us answers. So it's been cool. It's been a really fun thing.
Right. I just think it's dope that I know before y'all even met me, y'all just had this kernel of an idea. But I just think it's awesome to actually manifest ideas into action. And the fact that we're on episode 30 now, we just continue to keep it rolling is probably just the best part. The fact that we're just keep doing it is probably the best part to me, because it's good to get on here and just talk and share ideas and opinions that you have. It's awesome.
I'm a fan of, I've always wanted to do this is because, we have such interesting chats in our group chats and stuff. So I'd much rather talk than sit there and type all of this crap, especially since I have the biggest fingers out of everybody. So it's harder for me to text. So you got Ryan over there who damn like texting circles around me. I'm like, man. So
hey man, that's why you gotta use the talk to text. Just get them retorts back quick.
And we're usually telling Micah he's wrong about something. So.
Right. No, Micah, you're wrong. And here's the reasons why. And he'll get one answer. And I'm like, yeah, well, here's 3 more answers as to why you're wrong. He's like, well, hold on. And then you'll just see the answers get shorter and shorter.
No, I feel you on that. I mean, it's, the camaraderie with just always sitting down with, your homies and just having just good talks, whether it's serious conversation or just shooting the shit. It's therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing, especially, with this year, that, I look forward to, between me, Christian, and Justin, of us, when we do get together, it's always a good time. Whether we're talking about something important or literally having an argument of whether the G in lasagna is silent, which we did. I think that was like
lasagna.
2 months ago.
It's a soft G. Yeah.
So you know what? And Christian and Justin were getting on my ass about it, and I said it's technically silent just based off of English phonetics, because you don't get a G sound when you say lasagna. That's why I say it's technically silent. But they went and say, granted, we had been drinking. This was like the end of the episode. This was like deep cuts. We were just still talking, and it was recording. So we're like, oh fuck it, keep it. And so we really got into a nice debate about the G in lasagna.
Don't let us start that now, because I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Boy, I'm already thinking about it. I'm ready to go.
Lasagna.
That could be a lightning round for you.
It would be lasagna.
Yeah, exactly. That would be my point. If you didn't have the G, it'd be lasagna or lasagna.
Correct.
Lasagna.
It does influence how you pronounce the word, but the G itself,
you do not pronounce the phonetic G.
And that was my only point. That was my only point.
Is there another word that uses a G like that? It's more like
gnome,
baloney.
But gnome actually you could say it without it. So yeah, no.
Right. Yeah, that's an actual silent.
That's a pointless G, is what that is.
Yeah. We it went into the next day, like literally the next day. I in our group chat, I brought I sent in some links that had references of like 20 different dictionaries. The Oxford Dictionary, this and the other. And I was like, see, I was like, blah, blah, blah. The Christian was like, well, no, based on like his wife's a teacher and she has an English teacher friend. She's like, oh, what she said is this. I mean, it went on through text messages and it was crazy.
You're me. You're the one that like, all right, I'm gonna go collect all the data and then I'm gonna throw it at you all at once.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm on the Lil Wayne train when he said real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Exactly. I mean, that's actually what brought it up, because we were reading something from actually I'll tell you what brought it up. Somebody, I don't know if you saw, it was a few weeks ago, T.I. was on some show talking about COVID and he said some stupid shit like drinking hot tea.
I'm gonna end COVID expeditiously, partner.
Exactly. And we were like, bro, like nobody listened to Ti, like at least not about this. Like this is no. But somebody reviewing that, was going in and they brought up for whatever reason, I can't remember. They brought up Lil Wayne's line, and then literally in the middle of Christian saying that, I was like, oh well, yeah, that's technically silent. And like it was like a record scratch. He was like, what? No, it's not. And it went, left from there. We totally got off topic of whatever we were talking about, and we were just arguing for like 30 minutes about the G and lasagna. But that's what's fun.
All right, so Myron, thank you for coming on. We've appreciated all this time. Now, you are certainly most welcome to follow up with it, or continue is the word I'm trying to use as my brain clicks back on. Continue to stay on with us. We're going to get into some sports after this. We're going to take a quick break here. And then, get into NFL, NBA, and all that good stuff. Obviously, it's all local and national. So if you want to join us, you're more than welcome, man.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm definitely down with that.
All right, cool. So, yeah, we're going to take a quick break. Guys, enjoy our break music. Again, that is by Juan Solano at, one of his many monikers. James Juan 007, Vitilas, whatever. You can find him anywhere. Yeah, we'll be back. Bring it. No.
Oh, so do y'all record exclusively through Zoom?
Yeah, we haven't brought it in. I haven't gotten a soundboard yet, but that's my next step.
Oh, ooh, see, you fancy.
And it'll make it a lot easier, and no more digital conversion. Just bring the signal straight in through analog. I want to get off. My next thing is get off the digital mics. Move that way. Move it into a soundboard, XLR in. Yeah. Just so it sounds better.
Yeah, I mean, we moved from one mic, like I said, in the closet that we were crammed into. We just had one Omni mic to, everybody has their individual mic now. But we record like straight. We use what's the free one? Audio.
Audacity.
Audacity, thank you. Yeah, we just use that, which is nice. We record straight to my Mac. And sound quality is, I mean, you can, especially for a freeware, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I got some cool little plugins in there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we use.
Maybe I'll start doing that. But what I do is I take this, strip, just do the audio version, drop it into a Litu, which is they do quality upgrading. You can do editing that way. It's just the GUI is really nice.
Yeah.
And then drop it into Anchor, add our little bits in there, and we're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Christian edits for us. But yeah. Yeah, Audacity. Yeah, definitely check out Audacity. It's pretty good, especially for freeware.
Yeah, I've been using that for a while for sure.
Is that where you do all your music videos on, Marco?
No, not music videos. It's like if I'm tracking a guitar or bass or something like that, then I'll just put it in. I'll record in Audacity, then I'll bring it into Fruity Loops after I bounce it down.
Oh, you do some production?
Yeah, do production.
Oh, nice.
Marco's an artist.
Oh, dope.
Don't sell yourself short there, Marco.
No, I will.
Oh, nice.
Don't listen to me.
Speaking of, have you watched Lil Dicky's show on Hulu?
I haven't yet. I've heard good things about it though.
Yo, first of all, fucking hilarious.
He's a clown.
It's the show is gold. The show is complete gold. Everybody on there is an actor or actress except for Lil Dicky and Gata. Dude, when I tell you hilarity ensues from jump. This shit's insane. It is insane. It's a great show. Lil Dicky's dope.
Is
I
it
got a
better
question
than
for you, Myron.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
Do you fuck with the war?
Fuck with the
I was at a friend's. We had a beer share, and a couple of our friends there had not heard, or they don't listen to Lil Dicky. And then one of my friends was like, "Wait a minute, you don't fuck with the war?" And he played that entire fucking song while we were
All
sitting there.
11 minutes.
Yeah,
Fuck with the
and
what?
folks are like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm just like, "Man, it's Lil Dicky, man. This shit's hilarious."
So
But definitely check out Dave. There's only one season and it's 10 episodes, I think,
Yeah.
so far. But it's hilarious. But the his producer friend that he grew up with, granted the guy that plays him is just an actor, but the guy is pretty cool though. But that just reminded me of that. But
you know what?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely get to that eventually.
I'm going to go ahead and just bring us back off of that, just kind of do a rolling lead in there. Welcome back from the break, guys. We had actually been having conversation here for quite some time and just decided, you know what, this is pretty cool. Let's pick back up and roll from there. But yeah, so Myron's still with us. He's going to do some sports with us. We'll talk about
Sports.
football, basketball, baseball, that good stuff. So Myron, what we do is we typically lead with what we call the Gritz Blitz, and that is our football segment because that's like, Atlanta Falcons, UGA, and just whatever national news as well. And that's just it's paying homage to the 77, not the 72, which I said last episode, 77 Falcons defense, who they were the Gritz Blitz, and they just blitzed the hell out of everybody. And since we're fishing grits, it just fits.
yeah.
It's the Blitz. It's the Gritz Blitz, not the Blitz.
Not the Blitz grits. So this past Sunday, for those of you that tuned into our YouTube live when we were recapping another loss to the Saints. This one wasn't as bad as last time, but it still hurt. It sucks to get swept by your rivals, especially the Saints. Like, I can take getting swept by the Bucks every now and then. Losing 2 to the Panthers, 1, never happens, but 2, it'd be like, okay, yeah, shut up, you're still the Panthers. But like, God, losing 2 to the Saints, that shit hurts, man. And that's just, I think you heard it a lot on me and Micah's voice. Marco couldn't make it for that episode. If you haven't already watched it, it is available on our YouTube channel. It's just the recap of the game. And we do that every Sunday or Monday, depending on what day we play. But I think the biggest thing that we can take from that is fuck the Saints.
It's always that, baby.
I mean that's GP. But this season, I'm like, fuck the Falcons organization. I want everybody fired. Everybody. I want the water boy gone. I want the guy that paints the field, him out of there.
I don't like your lines, bitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Some unlucky lines.
It's just, don't get me wrong. I'm a Grady baby. I'm, Atlanta all day, Fila. But I'm mad. Like, we should legit be 7-4 right now.
At least
2 losses to the Saints were legit. 1 loss to the Panthers was legit.
It is 3 games that we should have. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, 7-4. It sounds about right. Maybe
something
even
around
8.
there.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
We're what are we right now? We are 4-8.
4-8.
So we should be
7-4.
7-5.
7-5.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. We should be 7-5 right now. And it's not even just this season. I don't understand why we as a Falcons organization make football more complicated than it is. It's not that hard. It really isn't. I don't know why these 2 games with the Saints, I don't know why we didn't blitz as much as we should have. It's glorified Tim Tebow. Like, cut it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, blitz him. Make him, if we blitz him and he beat us in the air, I'd have been like, damn, that dude can play. But he can't. Blitz him, make him throw the ball.
And if an interception hits your hands, please.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh,
AJ Enrico.
It's that, and then I hate the one thing, I will defend Matt Ryan, till he leaves his organization. But the one thing that I've always said that I dislike about Matt Ryan is that he's a company man. Mm-hmm. He will make, if the coaches say, oh, let's try this, he's gonna say, hey, let's make it work. This is a team sport. We got it, bro. Even though he knows it's bullshit, he'll be like, let's make it work. They called it. And I don't know if y'all saw the interview yesterday. Was that yesterday or 2 days ago? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. They asked him about Dirk Cutter's play calling. And he's like, oh, I've been fine with the play calling. Bullshit. You're lying.
You're the only one. You and Dirk Cutter are the only two.
And Matt Ryan's fucking lying. I know he is. He knows better. And I'm just like, dude, and I was talking to my homeboys, and he's like, well, you keep dirt in house, you don't, air stuff out. I was like, generally speaking, yes. You keep drama in house, you don't want to, cause discourse in an organization. However, in this case, when it's something that's blatantly known, I don't mind him just saying, no, the play calling is anemic. It's,
uninspired.
Inept.
Right. He doesn't have to call it trash. I wouldn't say do that. But, again, you know how to speak to the media. Just like, oh, well, we could have done some things better here. Maybe, he can bring some examples back from various games, shit, the whole fucking season.
The whole season. Pick a
that's
play.
what I'm saying. Exactly. I'm just like, don't just say, oh, it's fine when it's not.
Lamar Jackson even said, when they asked him what's going on with the offense, he's like, the defense is calling our plays before we even run them. So
that's a second-year player that's doing
that.
Exactly.
Which we go back to the Super Bowl with Shanahan with the pass play on second down, and after the Julio catch, and Matt, you get the footage of Matt yelling, run the fucking ball. But when Shanahan sent that play in, you ran the exact play Shanahan called. So,
well, I mean, Matt is, he's the consummate professional. So, but he's what's that the Warlick test or whatever the test they take?
Wonderlic.
The Wonderlic test. He scored the highest ever on that. So we know he has the mental capacity to know when things are just completely like, what in the world are you doing, Dirk? But like you said, he just,
Dude, I can y'all don't understand how mad I am about that Super Bowl. For one, I drove to Houston.
Oh no.
I left work. Let me tell you. That Friday, because the week before when we played Green Bay, I told my director at work, I was like, look, because she's a UGA fan and she's a Falcons fan too. And I was like, look, if we beat Green Bay, don't expect me into work Monday. I'm just letting you know. And she's like, yeah. So of course we whooped Green Bay's ass. I left work Friday. I already had a bag packed. I went to the brewery, picked up a few cases of beer, picked up my two friends, and I drove straight to Houston. Atlanta to Houston is what, about 10 and a half, 11-hour drive?
Mm-hmm.
I got there in 9.5 hours.
Wow. You were ready.
I was booking it, had the ATL playlist on Spotify on blast. I'm talking about the throwbacks. I'm talking about Archie. I'm talking about G's, everything. We were so fucking hyped for this Super Bowl. Because of course we knew we were going to win.
Should have.
Of course, long story short, we ain't got to go through that. We could win 10 Super Bowls straight, and I will still be pissed at that one.
Yeah.
I will still be pissed.
Yeah.
Now, Ryan, I know you've seen Grandma's Boy. Myron, have you seen Grandma's Boy?
Yeah. I remember that movie.
So, talking about Dirk Cutter, the image of just popped in my mind, him being like JP, like riding around on I am a genius.
Fucking dirt cutter. He's a self-proclaimed genius.
Oh man,
I was mad we didn't fire him when we fired
Quinn.
Quinn and Dimitrov.
I mean, we talked about that so much. It's like if you're going to give Raheem a fair shot, if you're honestly saying Raheem, you have the option to become head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, you have to fire Dirk Cutter because otherwise you're trying him out with an anchor tied to his leg.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get to that with some of these other questions, but I sort of have a question in regards to Raheem and that whole situation.
Yeah, so just without going too much into detail with the Saints game, the biggest things that killed us were, again, the inability to convert on third downs. On the season, we go 7 for 27 against the Saints on third down. We can't, obviously Matt got sacked 8 times in the first game and only 2 this time, so much better, but still you got to keep Matt clean. And the inability to run the ball. Todd Gurley, since week 6, has not looked like the Todd Gurley we saw in the beginning of the season. And I think the knee is just really, really showing now. The injury that everyone was concerned about is really starting to slow him down. He's been averaging 2.6 yards per carry since week 6, which
that was one of the dumbest plays I've ever seen. Like, why are you trying to bounce that out, bro?
It's a bad play call. It's bad execution. Like,
Just go forward, man. Just go forward. Don't try to bounce it out with bad knees.
I don't know what it is with our organization and getting running backs past their prime. I like that we got Todd Gurley just for homer reasons, but I would have preferred a bigger split between him, Ito, and
Brian Hill.
Hill. I like Ito and Brian.
Yeah.
I like them. I would prefer them to get more touches. Do a committee running back system.
And I don't know why Dirk doesn't throw to the running backs. I just don't understand that.
Because it's Dirk.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
He's never thrown to the running back. Ever.
In his mind, 4 verts and halfback dives are the only matter of fact, we had a guest, a friend of Lionel's longtime friend, Ellington, that came on. Dirk Cutter's playbook looks kind of like Ellington's Madden, where it's like 4 verts, halfback dive, and then it was just 4 play calls. That was it. That's
misplaced bubble screens.
It has to be. It has to be. His playbook is literally a construction sheet of paper. Like I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Madden 2020 has better play calls than
Ask Madden.
Like literally, he needs that. I just don't understand it. And again, I'm always frustrated with Matt. I'm just like, dude, you're at this point, you're a vet. Tell him what they're not going to get rid of you.
Yeah.
Just talk back. Just say, no, I'm not doing that.
Check out. Switch formation. This not going to work.
I'm like literally in his mic, Dirk was like, hey, we're going to do, this, that, and the other. He's like, cool. No. In the huddle, Matt is one of the, I know he's top 10, if not top 5, all-time 2-minute offense QBs. We know he can fucking read a defense and he can command the offense, in the no huddle. He does it every fucking time, or when it's too late, when we're down by, 3 scores, then we do it in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes left. And then, oh shit, we scored. It's like, well, yeah, we could have been doing that whole game.
Yeah, it's so frustrating, especially Dirk's a bum. That's the synopsis there. But big thing is out of that game as well, the defense continues to improve. The young defenders really start to show why we picked them where they are. And I attribute that to one reason and one reason only. That's 2 technically. Raheem Morris and Jeff Ulbrich taking over the defense and putting these guys in positions to succeed based on their skill sets and their their weaknesses as well. So,
Mhm.
I won't jump ahead too much, but since about 3 weeks ago, at first I was on the nuke and pave mindset of you, Myron. I was like, anybody that's been in here the past couple of years needs to go. I'm ready for a fresh start. I'm ready to, I don't want anybody related to Dan Quinn. And then Raheem got a couple games under his belt. And I was like, oh, I like the way he relates to the players. I like the message he relays to the media, because he's very straightforward. He's not going to get there and be Dan Quinn and have these little Dan Quinnisms and be like, we're mad as hell. This is, we're embracing the suck. Raheem will tell you that's a dumbass question. Raheem's going to tell you this guy didn't execute his job right. Raheem is, he's a real coach. He's not going to sit there and, he doesn't do the media. He doesn't like the media like some of these guys do, and he's just going to tell it how it is. He'll dress it up some because he knows he's the head coach, but more importantly, the players like him, and he holds them accountable. Secondly, Jeff Ulbrich is showing that he can be a defensive coordinator in the NFL. He has the ability to get the best out of those players, put players in those positions, and scheme against other teams' weaknesses. So I'm now leaning towards keep those two, but I definitely want you to get rid of Cutter. And I know it's not a very popular opinion, but if you take Dirk Cutter out of the equation, and I told Micah this past Sunday, unless Raheem Morris has told Arthur Blank, no, Cutter is the answer for this team. Cutter is, he can get it done. Then that's a different case. But if you take Dirk Cutter out of the equation and look at what those two alone have changed on this team and measure the success of the defense and the success of the team in situations where we usually fail, it's completely different than what it was. So I don't know about the rest of you guys, and you guys can weigh in. I would like to see Raheem and Ulbrich back.
No. I say no because, just like I said last week, I think he's doing a good job of putting together a resume for another team. But as far as I'm concerned, he had he had the authority to get rid of the special teams coach. He has the authority to do everything else a head coach can do. So to me, I have to put the decision of keeping Dirk Cutter there on him. I can't put it on anyone else. And for that reason alone, and then I think that just a lot of the stuff that happens, whether it be the Todd Gurley thing or the fact that we played the Saints twice, they're not doing anything revolutionary. They didn't even change their game plan from the first game, and we still came out and got embarrassed. So I just think that, yeah, he's a good, and also on the whole, he holds guys accountable. There's a lot of coaches in this league who hold people accountable. Just because Dan was the only one who didn't, it makes him seem like he's that much better. But I just think Raheem needs to go, and I think we need to, like Myron said, man, get rid of everybody from the water boy to the dude who paints the lines. We can keep the concession people because they need that work, but man, we need some fresh everything in this organization.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Michael.
I mean, I get it, but my only fear is, as an Atlanta fan, it can always get much worse.
No, it can't. It can't get worse.
No.
No, it cannot get worse.
What we're seeing with Raheem and what's his name? Because like I said, it's that knowing the way we've moved, they'll get some guy who's a company guy, and they'll get Dan Quinn 2.0 to be our head coach. Matter of fact, they'll bring Kirby Smart from Georgia and put him up there and then be like, oh yeah, this is our new head coach. And like I said, as a Georgia fan, I love Kirby's ability to recruit, but decision making is not his strong suit. So, I'm one of those, I think we went from one of the worst defenses in the league to when what Raheem and Ulbrich have done you've actually seen the talent on this defense. And it's like, all right, well, if our offense was just somewhat productive, then we could be winning so many more games. Problem is, it's like we talked about it Sunday, or was it Sunday or last Tuesday or last week? You know, as soon as Dan Quinn got out of there, not only did Dirk seem to stop calling Shanahan's plays, he went back to his own playbook. And it's just like, bro, like none of the principles in Shanahan's playbook are being run now. And it's like, all right, so what's the point of having you run this playbook? Now the thing we talked about Sunday was, like I said, you weren't there, but I'm like, you know, as an interim coach, I don't know if Raheem has the ability to be like, hey, this guy needs to go, that guy needs to go. You know, he might just be just the head coach in, you know, de facto head coach, but he might not, Arthur Blank might not have given him any power to make personnel decisions coaching wise.
But he fired the special teams coach.
Quatuica was not Raheem's decision.
Yeah. That's what I heard. I heard that on 92.9. That was his
it actually came out that Arthur Blank wanted to fire Quatuica after the Cowboys
Dallas game.
Yeah. And Dan was like, no. He's a good special teams coach.
Yeah. So that was all Arthur Blank. So I don't even know if Arthur Blank is giving him the authority to make that kind of decision. So, you know, as far as I know, he might be begging Arthur, please fire this dead weight we have for an offensive coordinator. But, you know, Arthur's just like, oh, he scored 30. We've had 30 and 40 point games. So we're going to keep him and see how he evaluates the rest of the season. So.
Yeah, to a point, I do agree with you, Mike, that I don't know if Arthur Blank and the powers that be have given Raheem Morris. I mean, it's clear that this season is a wash.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to make any big decisions until the season is over. We know that. For that reason, I don't think they've given him any type of real power other than, you know, game to game, week to week. And for another reason, just because of how this organization has been in the past, they really don't give black coaches the best chances. Like Mike Tomlin is one of the most winningest coaches in history. And every time the Steelers look somewhat bad, he's always on a hot seat.
Right.
And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But Fisher was in the league forever.
Boy.
And he's the ultimate 8-8 coach, 7-9. Like, come on now. Stop.
Jason Garrett was a career 8-8 coach.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, that's that. But just with Raheem, the question is, do you think that he is? Can he be a head coach? Sure, he was, and he currently is a interim. I have no doubt that he can be a head coach. Is he our head coach for the future, though? And I'm not sure about that. You know, I think it's just too much has gone down with us. I think we and he needs a fresh start somewhere else. And hopefully he can get a fresh start somewhere else. I just don't think that it's with us. And when, you know, history has proven that when, you know, organizations fire the head coach mid-season, the interim, either it's a resounding yes that you make him the head coach, or you get rid of him. There's no in between, like, oh yeah, appreciate it. You know, thanks for being the head coach for the rest of the season, but we're gonna make you the DC, the OC, or whatever. It's like, nah, either you make me head coach or I'm out.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's gonna stay, and I don't think Arthur Blank's gonna actually make him the head coach. Now, who I would want to at least give a chance is Bieniemy.
Yeah.
From KC.
I'm a big Bieniemy fan.
I don't know about MK making the decisions though. Rich MK.
Yeah, there's an article I think it came out today that McKay's position, like they need to find a GM quick But Rich McKay sitting in this position of like, is he the president of football operations and the GM? Like, is he, what's going on?
Ooh,
Because they
did
have
y'all
to
see
answer
that?
to him.
Did y'all see that article about who was it? Who was thinking about a candidate for us?
Oh, you're talking about what's his face? Why is his
uh,
name escaping me?
Riddick?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Louis
Louis
Riddick.
Riddick.
Yeah, Louis Riddick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Louis Riddick as well.
I'm for it. I mean, I wanted Dimitrov gone a few years ago.
Yeah.
And he rode the I got Julio to Atlanta. He rode that forever. And I'm just like, dude, cool. You got
Well,
Julio.
I've had some pretty big debates with Ryan over Dimitrov because he called him a cap wizard, and I'm just like, no. It's just no.
He is a cap wizard, but it's
He
just
definitely
like
was.
the groceries that he's using though are always suspect.
Well,
But he
I mean,
does know
but
how
it-
to use
but-
the money.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you fit certain players under the cap when you're always cap strapped and you
They're all
can never
trash.
make moves to improve where you need to.
Well, every team's cap strapped now. Every competing team is cap strapped. I mean, shit, the Eagles, they're not even a competing team. The Eagles are going into next season with a
their whole-
negative 30 cap space.
Their whole team pretty much blew up on just like their legs just collapsed on them, backs just broken.
Yeah, but I mean, negative 30 million? We were never in that position.
But they are talking, but the cap is supposed to go down. So that is
which makes it
another-
even worse. It's
That
gonna be
is another, yeah. But I mean, like with us, like you know what contract pisses me off, and it always has. Well, like the Julio
Let's not go down
contract,
the Matt Ryan rabbit hole.
the Julio contract is bad, but the fact that Matt Ryan is scheduled to make 41 and 42 million in the next 2 years is just ridiculous.
But
and it's all
he doesn't though. He never has. He always makes about 25.
But that's the thing. If restructuring keeps pushing the money back farther in his contract. So now it's just like, oh, that 41 million cap hit.
It turns it into guaranteed money.
Yeah, but they push the actual cap number gets pushed back.
Let's not take 30 minutes discussing Matt
Yeah,
Ryan.
we don't have time for a 30-minute Matt Ryan contract conversation.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Dimitrov did do good things for us in his tenure. And yes, as far as the money's concerned, he did some finagling, but it's his time has passed.
Yeah.
So, am I glad he's gone? Yes. Was he terrible? No, he wasn't terrible, but we needed somebody new at this point.
I'm still mad at him for paying Croy Bierman and not trying to get John Abraham for one more year. And it's like, so we paid this dude and let this guy who gets 11 and a half sacks go.
Not only that, but wasn't freaking what's my man's name on the line? What that was like
offensive or defensive?
Defensive.
Dante Fowler?
Yeah, Dante Fowler had to be the worst free agent acquisition this offseason.
2
out of
sacks.
any team. Out of any team.
Well, we did get rid of another worse one though, so
Vic was more productive than Dante Fowler.
Tack McKinley,
who can't pass a physical.
Well, not Tack, but Vic. Vic was more productive than.
Yeah. Vic actually had some, even in bad seasons, he had okay numbers, but
he's not even on the. Didn't he just get cut? Isn't he without a job right now?
Which one? Tack?
Vic.
No, Vic.
Practice.
Oh yeah,
Vic
Vic got cut off the practice squad. I did see that. But
Oh god.
Tack is, I think, still on the Raiders.
And then Treadwell. It's like, where the hell is he at?
He's on the practice squad.
I know, but why? Like,
what do you mean?
Why has he not played?
Oh,
I mean,
bad?
yeah, I would play him over Christian Blake right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't hate Christian Blake, but Treadwell's got size. He can play in the slot.
got experience.
Yeah.
For when Julio is inevitably going to go down with injury.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
I'll blame Dirk for that though.
Speaking of Julio, do y'all think that we should try to get some value for him and trade him?
It depends on the direction of the franchise. If you're trying to reload for 1 or 2 more seasons, no, you got to have Julio because he's invaluable in teaching these young wide receivers. But if it's okay, this is now the youth movement, yeah, for sure, get rid of him.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I think they, as a teaching mechanism, he's like a coach on the field. But yeah, I mean, if we really want to just kind of retool and start trying to build a new coach, kind of like what Carolina just did, yeah, I mean, you might have to.
I mean, I just say if we plan on keeping him, then we need to shut him down for the rest of the season because there's no point in having him go out there and just. I mean, even though it doesn't even seem like time really helps Julio because he just always has nagging injuries, but I don't know. I really don't know what to do with Julio. I love Julio for everything he's done, but it's hard to say.
Did he work out with T.O. this year?
That was last year.
That's probably the reason. You know, T.O. that dude, you know, I'm 46, still running a 4.5 40.
Yeah, I think the problem that we are always in is that we're never too bad that we actually need to rebuild. It's like some teams they go to rebuilding because they're just straight trash, like from top to bottom. But you know, we're never that bad, like not even close. It's like we always lose stupid games. It's like we could be contenders. We technically, not our record clearly doesn't show it, but we are technically contenders every year because we have the talent. But coaching, execution, decision making is just all terrible at the most inopportune times. And so it's like making a decision to like totally rebuild almost seems like a waste, but then we don't make the proper decisions to, okay, well, get rid of the right pieces and add the right pieces to stay in the hunt. I mean, I would love to keep Julio because I mean, with Julio and Ridley, I mean, that's a problem for defenses, period. I don't care who you are. I mean, a hobbled Julio is still a problem when you have Ridley on the other side. Like, you know, so I mean, I would love to keep him, and we aren't terrible like that.
Yeah.
To just do a whole rebuild. Like we can, make some runs in these next 2 or so years while Matt Ryan can still at least throw 30 yards down the field or whatever the case may be. But I just don't think we as an organization are going to make the proper decisions where it needs to be.
I think,
and that's why I say fire everybody.
I think most of us will probably agree with this comment, but I feel like the Falcons, if you were to keep this team together and add an effective pass rusher in this draft class, some offensive line help, and just some pieces here and there across the board, if you were to keep everyone you have and add a pass rusher and some some help from Matt Ryan up front, this is a dangerous team.
Yeah.
I feel like there are no obvious holes anymore.
Always.
On the defense, at least, except for pass rush. And ever since Micah mentioned him, ever since John Abraham left, we've been searching for a guy to put pressure on the quarterback. Because if you put Grady Jarrett next to an edge rusher that can get you 10 to 15 sacks every season, oh my God.
They'd be looking like the fucking Rams.
Yeah.
Right.
Grady Jarrett gets doubled every time. Every time.
Held. Always gets held.
Grady Jarrett is a fucking problem as a defensive tackle. But he can't do anything about it because he's literally getting doubled every time while everyone else is going one-on-one and not winning.
Well, Jacob has been winning some.
Yeah, but
he didn't win Sunday, but
he got hurt early.
That also is arguably the best offensive line in the NFL right now. So, pressure Taysom, there were times where like Taysom was in the pocket and no one just you couldn't even blow. Like they weren't even close enough for him to feel them blowing on him. Just like,
You know what was so frustrating about this week's game is watching the Saints play the week before against
Denver.
Denver. I was like, just watching film, do what Denver did.
Yeah.
Simple. And again, it's not like, granted, Denver does have a solid defense. I'm not gonna, we don't have Denver's defense, but the schemes, it wasn't like they were, making changes at the line and shit like that. No, they fucking blitzed them.
Yeah.
You had a technically brand new quarterback. Try him.
Yeah.
That it's simple. Football is not that complicated. It's
Well,
not.
The first quarter we did blitz Taysom. We blitzed the shit out of him, and then he ran us out of it.
Yeah, a couple times he got out of the pocket and just ran wild.
We weren't disciplined with containment.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that one. Oh my god, Dion came up the middle and Charles Harris was like, "Oh, quarterback!" And then you see Dion hit his back, and I was like, "There goes Taysom."
Yeah.
70 yards. It's like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
yeah.
And that's the thing which I feel like historically we are terrible tacklers and we don't set the edge.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because
And that's another reason why I say the whole coaching staff, everybody gone. Everybody. I don't care if it's the assistant's assistant. Like, fam, you can't start here though. Like, you got to go somewhere else.
Well, I'll wrap that up on this. I would like to see those two back, but I'm not. It's not going to be the end of the world for me. I'm not going to be like, oh my god, what are we doing? They're both good at what they do, and they've proven that these last couple of games. But if you can get someone here that's a better one, like if we go land the enemy, I'm ecstatic because I know our offense is now 7 to 8 points better a game. And if he brings in a defensive coordinator that's exciting, it's not Dan Quinn, it's not a sit back and react to the ball defense and attack the ball type of defense, then I'll be good.
Well, you know, there are two choices for defensive coordinator that would absolutely piss me off. Greg Williams,
Blitz.
Oh my god. And what was the other one? I was just thinking of Romeo Cornell.
Oh fuck no.
Those two, I'd be like, no. Like
Kurt Romeo's been in the league too long. Like he's collecting checks.
Yeah. Well, he might be Houston's head coach next year because they don't want to interview anybody.
I would literally take all the money that Arthur Blank has in his secret account, go call Sean Payton and have him do the heel turn on TV, come out with the steel chair, hit Drew Brees in the head with the steel chair. Be like, I'm a Falcon now, baby.
You know what? As funny as that would be, fuck Sean Payton. I don't like that dude. I don't like him as a person.
I don't like him either, but he's the best play caller and like one of the best. I mean, he's winning. He has Taysom Hill at quarterback, and this dude, like without Drew Brees, he's like what 8-1 or something like that, 9-1, something.
8-0.
8-0 without Drew Brees.
You know who I want.
There are only two people on the Saints that I actually like.
Kamara.
I actually do fuck with Drew Brees because I liked him before when he was with the Chargers. I thought, them getting rid of him, I understand he was injured, but getting rid of him, Phillip Rivers, that was sketchy. And I hated that he went to the Saints. And I like Lutz because he went to Georgia State. Alma mater, shut out.
Hold on, we got to sell you on Alvin Kamara.
Oh well, that's okay. I can rock with Kamara. Yeah, he's from the home, so yeah. I forgot about Kamara.
And he's a hell of a follow on Twitter, and he's just a cool ass and good ass dude.
No.
Yeah, so yeah.
Hey Marco, we gotta bring. I wouldn't mind bringing my whole schoolmate back home, man.
Oh, Sean McVay.
Sean McVay.
He's not leaving LA though.
No.
He's not leaving.
He needs to. Jared Goff ain't taking him nowhere.
True.
Oh, wait a minute. I take that back. Yeah. I'm going to leave it at two people, but I'm taking out Drew Brees because I forgot about his racist shit he did earlier this season. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's canceled. So yeah, Kamara and Lutz. Yeah,
There you go.
My two Saints.
All right. So for those of you who haven't already, go ahead and go on to NFL.com and vote for your Atlanta Pro Bowlers. There's a few that deserve to make it. Younghoe Koo being one of them. Foye
Facts.
Oluokun.
Facts.
Debo's play as of late has actually elevated him into being worthy of the Pro Bowl
Facts.
as well.
Right, they started putting him on graphics now for games.
Yeah. It's like, oh, finally, there you are. Actually, I'm going to add one in that I didn't even think about. Kiki, that strong safety, could do it, but I just don't think his stats pop enough right now.
Are you just adding him because this is one season he's healthy?
Well, I mean, he had 2 unlucky seasons where it's like, that sucks. But, the two seasons
true.
before that, and then now he's a lights out strong safety.
Hold up, is this his 5th season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 5th.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
Those 2 seasons that we lost him made it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I'm just like, I feel like this dude is, a rookie. Like,
dude is a
yeah.
punisher, an enforcer on the ball. Like, and he's starting to fly around now. He trusts that knee and that ankle again, and he's good to go.
So glad the Dan Quinn era is over. I'm so dead.
I hope what's his name? AJ gets some kind of rookie recognition though.
He might. He's playing well enough to get it, but it's hard for rookies on losing teams, especially.
Well, not Pro Bowl. I'm just talking about just rookie recognition.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But especially being a rookie, being forced to guard Michael Thomas, and they're number 1 every game, your numbers aren't going to look as good because in that game, people are like, oh, he keeps blowing coverage on Michael Thomas. I'm like, no, he's all
not.
over Michael Thomas, and Michael Thomas is just an elite receiver.
He's keeping him in front.
Right. Like
Michael Thomas is strong as hell.
Boy, that one where Michael Thomas extended fully and caught it with his hands, AJ was all over his ass.
And people don't blow gas up AJ's ass like they do overrated Lattimore or Holdemore, excuse me.
Holdemore.
Boy.
Jesus, he's so overrated, man.
He really is. Oh yeah, Grady, and then maybe Ridley. That's the only Ridley may sneak into the Pro Bowl as an alternate.
Those games he missed might hurt him,
right?
Because he was on a fucking tear.
Yeah.
And plus that catch that he had on
Lattimore.
That was disgusting.
Yeah.
That ball from Matt was perfect too.
Yes, that was the only spot he could put it, and that was a nasty ass kid. I mean, I'm more so.
Which one? Because he had 2.
The one where he
on the sideline where he actually turned back because I thought Matt underthrew it, and Ridley hesitated a second and stopped Lattimore, and then extended out and got it. Like that little thing right there was disgusting.
Yeah. I'm glad you saw that because there's a lot of people that didn't see what he actually did to open himself up on that.
Exactly. Because Lattimore was there to give Lattimore his one prop. He was there and he didn't hold him. But that hesitation that Ridley did right at as soon as he located the ball, hesitated a second, and Lattimore stopped in his tracks and was like, wow.
Yeah.
Boom.
Now there's one scary thing to me because we've been very critical of Julio, but when I actually looked at the stat line, a hobbled Julio with being double covered all game, 6 catches and 94 yards, and it's like, bruh, they cannot stop this man. Hurt. He had to come out a couple times, hamstring tight. Said, man. My only issue was Matt throwing the jump ball to him at the end of the game. And it's like, bruh, he got a bad hamstring. Who you think he's gonna jump over with a bad hamstring?
Julio has not caught a touchdown against the Saints since 2016.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising though, just because we typically don't go to him in the red zone anyway. I mean, it's just decoy. All right, Julio, draw the defense, and we're gonna throw it to somebody else. That's right. That's all we ever use him for. Yeah.
Which, I mean, at more times than not, I'm okay with, because, I mean, Julio is arguably the best receiver in the league playing currently and definitely up there for all time. But sometimes I'm just like, and this another thing that frustrates me with Matt, I'm just like, trust your receiver. like there's certain things that Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, folks like that, they throw it up and it's like, hey, I put it where you can get it. If you don't get it, that's not on me, fam.
Right.
Like as big as Julio is, I'm like, just throw it up to him.
Just
throw it.
I think Matt just doesn't. He never had the touch for that ball though. That fade, that corner to end zone fade, and like like Aaron Rodgers, he always throws it to Devontae Adams, but he puts the right amount of zip on it. He throws it perfectly to the right shoulder. Like typically when Matt throws it, he either throws it way too hard and way too high, where it's a hard catch, or he underthrows it like that game we played the Patriots. He underthrew it, and Julio had to snatch the ball out of Malcolm Butler's hands for the touchdown. Oh, bro, I still got that GIF on my phone. It's still disgusting.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is very true. I mean, as much as I do like Matt Ryan, I'm not a stan that like Matt Ryan is perfect. He's not perfect. Is he a Hall of Famer?
He probably, but to your point though, he still holds the ball way too long, even without the touch. Sometimes you just gotta let it go, like Brett Favre, that shit, and just let that shit go.
Brett Favre.
Exactly. Brett Favre is. I don't know if he currently still leads all-time interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
He probably might. Well, I don't know. James Winston though.
Caught up in 4 seasons.
Mr. 30 for 30. But Brett Favre was like, live or die. He's just like, hey, throw that thing.
Yeah.
All right.
But, yeah.
Let's move on outside of the Falcons here and kind of quickly recap what happened around the league here. Just a couple minutes. So Steelers lose their first game of the season to the Washington football team. Some of our Baltimore listeners are going to say, look, the Steelers are overrated, but the Steelers were exhausted. They're now depleted even further. They lost Bud Dupree for the season the week before, and they lost Spillane in this game as well. So they're hurting, man. And they're one team that's been screwed over the most by other teams' ineptitudes. They got screwed over by the Titans earlier in the season, and then Baltimore this last week were both of the Steelers' opponents when they had those huge outbreaks. But
what is up with that division in there? Lack of COVID awareness.
Boy,
Nashville. Well, I can tie the Titans to just being in Nashville in general, but I think Baltimore was all the strength and conditioning coach.
Mm-hmm.
Dude has COVID. He's showing up to work, not wearing his mask, and as a strength and conditioning coach, you're going to get up close and personal with players. So it's just like, this dude is an idiot. You need to fire him on the spot.
Should have pink carded them right there. Get out.
Yeah, that guy, and then who was it? For Denver.
All the quarterbacks.
A week ago.
Oh yeah.
First of all, shout out to Homeboy, who found out he had to start the day before.
Oh, Hamler.
Yeah. No, not Hamler.
Not Hamler.
That was a practice squad dude.
What's his damn name?
It was Hamler.
No,
it wasn't Hamler.
It was start with an H.
It's this guy. He's off the practice squad. He hadn't played quarterback since his red shirt freshman year of college. Yeah. He's a receiver.
Oh, what was his name?
And he found out 24 hours before the game. He was like, "Hey, fam."
From Wake Forest.
It was, Hinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to him. First of all, that one-time check. Hey, Flames, because they had to pay him the minimum.
Right.
Yeah, league minimum.
Oh, that's nice.
To complete one pass.
1 for 9. Hey,
Kendall Hinton, that's his name.
Yeah.
Shout out to him on that. But yeah, that whole debacle with their quarterbacks and that COVID situation, like that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, but I mean, like, I know I got a friend who's a Denver fan. He was pissed about it because it's like, you can move the Ravens game back from Thanksgiving all the way to the following Wednesday, but you forced us to play the game on Sunday with no quarterback, starting a wide receiver.
Oh no, but this was their punishment because they did not adhere to the rules. It's one thing if Denver had more often than not just did what they were supposed to do, and they just happened to one person got COVID and they contracted, they would have postponed it.
Yeah.
But since there was evidence that evidence of negligence on their part, they're like, oh, if you don't care, then cool, go ahead and play.
I mean, but I mean, I get their frustration in the sense that, like they legitimately pushed that game back, not because the Steelers had problems, but because Baltimore had half their team get infected. And it's like, we only had a handful of players. They legitimately had half a roster, but you're punishing us for that.
Yeah. I mean, it was messed up the whole sports and COVID era is all messed up. I mean, speaking of which, NBA season is about to start.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm actually happy what our Hawks are doing. This off season was productive, in my opinion.
That's actually a perfect segue into our next sport.
I got you, Ryan.
Time for the layup, aka the finger roll, aka jelly time, aka points in the paint. All right, so we were running along on that NFL segment. So that was a perfect Myron. So the first story we sort of have to talk about in the NBA is the fact that James Harden today finally turned up to training camp after a week-long spell of uncertainty for his team. But instead of getting ready for the season with his new teammates, Cousin and Wall, what he was doing instead was hanging out in Atlanta, in our hometown, with Lil Baby at a maskless birthday celebration. I believe it was at Gold Room. And at this celebration, Harden gifted Lil Baby a $200,000 watch. It's a Richard Mille watch. Did I say that right? Mille watch?
Mm-hmm.
Mille watch. And a Prada bag full of honey buns. Honey buns means like, I didn't know this. 100K worth of honey buns. I guess they call like the 100 is like a honey bun.
I didn't know that.
A roll bundle. Of hundreds.
Yeah. Oh shit. Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not in that tax bracket to know that vernacular.
Neither. Right. I just learned it today. When I first heard the story, I was like, he gave him honey buns. What kind of joke?
I mean, if you gave me 100K and a bag full of honey buns, I'll be.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I thought it was legit. Like, oh shit, that's kind of dope. In a Prada bag, I was like, oh yeah. Who doesn't like
funny, right?
Honey buns in a microwave, 22 seconds.
So my question for this is a two-part question. Why would a grown man buy another man such an expensive gift that is not his son? Would y'all buy another grown man that kind of gift? $300,000 for some dude that you just sort of know.
A purse? Absolutely not.
Yeah, no. Not a purse.
And it's not necessarily about the amount, because obviously if I made James Harden money, would I buy one of my homeboys a gift? Potentially, not a purse. I mean, like maybe, a PS5 with all the fixings and, have that shit, diamond or put, a skin of your favorite team on it. Yeah, I'll hook you up with that. But a purse though, that's nah. And no actual honey buns. No, that's where I draw the line.
Mike, are you dropping $300K on your friend if you can afford it?
If I made James Harden money, there would be an elite group of friends that I might drop that. Now, granted, I didn't know he was that close to Lil Baby to drop that much money on him.
That was the thing to me. It's like,
but like, I'm the kind of dude that'd be like, if I had James Harden money, I'd be like, hey Ryan, how much is left on your mortgage? Boom.
Right.
And or stuff, just something like that. It wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't just be some frivolous gift that immediately after I give it, it's just gonna lose value. It's gonna be something like if I'm gonna live lavish, all of us are gonna live lavish, but it's just gonna be like we're all gonna be comfortable. But I'm not gonna. Oh yeah, here's this, Prada man purse, or a satchel. It's like, so yeah, that's not my thing.
See, here's the thing, like, and good on you for, thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay off your mortgage, whatever. Their mortgage is already paid off. You got to be in the mindset of someone who has too much money that they can spend in a lifetime. So for that, like, I'm buying you a cheetah. I mean, off GP. It's like, damn, like, oh, what you got for birthday? Yeah, somebody got him a car, some got him a watch, whatever. Cool. It's like, oh, what you got me? I got a cheetah in the trunk. Like what? Yeah, it's a cheetah. He's already fed. Like, you got him.
or do something like show up in the party. Hey, what you get? Yeah, that helicopter I showed up in. That's you, bro.
Yeah,
Ryan,
something like that.
Would you drop $300K if you could afford it?
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm the type of, I like to get my friends things that I know they like. I'm a giver. I get great pleasure in that. So for sure. I mean, if I'm making $38.2 million for 4 months of basketball, and I've got, I'm sure other streams of income because I have endorsements. Like James Harden is one of the most marketable people in the nation, just simply because he has a fucking huge beard, and everyone knows him by that. So I'm sure he's pulling in another 10 mil in endorsements. So he's making $50 million a year. Yeah. 300K.
It's
there you go.
It's nothing. So in other James Harden news, it appears that the 3 teams that would have been the best fit for him, not only in terms of, them being good, but then them having the assets in order to trade for him, they have all reportedly lost interest. So the Nets have not had contact with the Rockets since since this story first appeared. The Sixers seem to be doubling down on their stars, where Ben Simmons actually was joking that he's going to move in with Embiid to help build their chemistry. They emphasized that was a joke, but they're sort of doubling down on that. And then the Warriors have lost interest because of the way that James Harden has handled this offseason and sort of his entitled attitude. So the question surrounding that is, did all these teams seemingly dodge that James Harden bullet? And will the Rockets be a complete dumpster fire this season with an unhappy superstar running their helm? Ryan, go ahead and answer that first.
Are they going to be successful?
Yeah.
They'll be mildly successful. I don't think any James Harden team, because he still cares about his stats and what he does on the court is going to lead to wins. So yeah, they'll be in the playoffs ish. They won't be as good as last year. They've gotten rid of a lot of important pieces these last couple of years. So, John Wall is still a really good point guard if he can stay healthy as well. So, they'll probably be in the 45 wins, maybe 42 to 45 wins is what I would say is where they'll sit.
Even with the 10-game shortened season.
Right.
I forgot about that.
That'd be pretty good in
yeah. So I would, if the equivalent of that. So then like 38 to 42 ish.
So you do think, so the other part of the question was, do you think the teams that sort of, Brooklyn, Golden State, or Philly, do you think they're better off by not sort of messing with James?
Well, Philly, it's still not out of the question, especially with the connection to, I can't remember his name, the GM, Morey. Yeah. So that's not completely out of the question because they have pieces to move as well. But Brooklyn was never going to happen. Just cap-wise, it couldn't have happened. There's no way, unless you traded Kyrie, and boy, that would have been funny as hell to see. Kyrie's like, yeah, I got KD. Oh shit, I'm in Houston. So yeah.
Micah.
Yeah, like I said, I think like you said, Philly's not out the realm of possibility. If I were Philly, I'd rather have Harden than Embiid right now. Because while Harden seems to be like lacking focus and too concerned about his own numbers, Embiid just I don't even know what Embiid be thinking about. He just be somewhere.
Cheeseburgers.
It's 7'3" guy who with this freak talent, but half the time it's just like, dude, what are you doing? So I mean, I would do that, but most of those teams, yeah, like imagine how detrimental Harden could be to Golden State's chemistry.
Yeah, I felt that way too.
His personality. And so, like I think, like I said, that Philly is about the only place that I could see him being a fit. Now if he went to Brooklyn, they'd be a great 2K team, but
Facts.
on the court, with all those co-coaches there, nah, that ain't gonna work, man.
Myron, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, to piggyback on what Mike said, Brooklyn was not going to happen. Like that was just something to throw out. That was not going to happen. Yeah, like Ryan said, cap alone, yeah, but even if money was no object, you can't have them on the squad. Like that's terrible. That's a dumpster fire. Golden State, low key, the same thing. It's like they don't need him.
Yeah.
Granted, I would understand the interest because Clay is out for the season, and in my opinion, Clay is their best player, period, and has been. I mean, not counting KD, but KD's a bitch, and I'm not gonna talk about that.
Clay's better than Steph?
Two sides of the ball, absolutely. Clay is their most important player. Steph is overrated. Is he the greatest shooter of all time? Yes. He is the greatest shooter. He is the greatest NBA shooter of all time currently. Yes. But Klay fucking Thompson is their best player, hands down.
Wait. Qualify Steph being overrated quick, please.
All the hype around, I'll say all the hype around Steph overrates him. I'm not saying that he's not a good player. Obviously, he is.
Great. One of the top 3 most impactful players of all time.
All right, cut it out.
The only unanimous MVP, or not only
the only unanimous MVP,
which was BS, but anyway,
3-time champion.
It is 3-time champion. He wasn't even the best player on any of those rings.
He was the best player on the first one. He was robbed of an MVP. Let's be real. Andre Iguodala held LeBron 30, 10, and 10.
So wait a minute. Let's be real. If the MVP award is not actual MVP award, most valuable player should not be the best player on the winning team. LeBron was the MVP of that first.
No, stop it. Let's not do that. Jimmy Butler deserved this Finals MVP.
Hold on, time out. So you give the MVP to a guy who held a guy to 30, 10, and 10?
That's his argument.
Steph deserved that Finals MVP because he averaged like 25, 7, and 6 or something like that.
Who?
Steph did that series.
Oh, yeah. And he was not the best player on the court. The best player on the court.
This is
no.
This is not 1968 with Jerry West or whenever the hell that happened with him.
Here's the thing. That is not the definition of most valuable player. I count value. If you take this one person, is that team, or how bad is that team after you take this one player away? You take LeBron off of that Cavs team.
Made the playoffs without Steph.
Wait a minute. You take Steph off of the Golden State Warriors. Would they make it to the finals? Probably not. But would they make it to the playoffs? Yes. You take LeBron,
I'll say they did well
off of the Cavs. You take LeBron off the Cavs, they're a lottery team. That's how I attribute value.
Yes, but are you trying to equate the rosters of the Golden State Warriors and the Cavs?
No, not the rosters, just the person.
I know, but you still have to weigh the roster around them.
Right. Golden State as a team was definitely better than the Cavs. That's what goes without question.
Way better.
Exactly. Hence why LeBron was the most valuable player. He took a bunch of scrubs, to the fucking finals.
Oh, I'm a LeBron fan. Like I'm not like a stan of him, but like I recognize where he's great, and I agree. Like his greatness ascended that team to the finals. But if you're talking about, man, that's
But
a
the
lot
question
to
was
unpack.
Steph. The question was about Steph. Is Steph a good player? Absolutely. He's arguably the best shooter all time. I'm not going to take that away from him at all.
My only contention with what you said is yes, Clay is an elite defender, and Clay is probably if it's not Steph, Clay is the best shooter ever. I mean, he dropped 60 points just shooting threes. I understand that, but
Just
have you
easy.
seen Clay try to dribble?
Oof.
Have you seen Clay try to do athletic stuff? He tore his knee because he tried to dunk. So unathletic. He didn't have to try to dunk that. And I know that's Danny Green's fault, but he didn't have to try to dunk that.
I didn't say Steph was Clay was the most athletic player, but he is
the best player.
He is their best player. You can't argue against that, because
I can't.
On defense, he hides Steph because Clay guards the best guard from the other team, which more times than not ends up being the point guard, depending, when they play Portland, Steph has the guard Dame. Even when they play the Hawks, fucking Trey was working.
Clay was on Trey.
Exactly. And then again, like you said, his shooting is damn near up to par with Steph. Again, Steph is arguably the greatest shooter ever to this point. So I'm not going to take that away from him. But he is their best player. Even when he went down, look in the shit when they came back on the Thunder, it wasn't because of Steph. It was because of Clay.
I remember. But
shit, the last season, or not last season because he was injured. Season before last,
the final. Clay was the guy who was sparking them back, but that's because Steph had to play those first 3 games without Clay, without KD. He dropped 50 points, and they had to come back the next day, and he was dead. Like, I mean, you can't Steph dropped 50 points in the finals. You can't.
Yeah, and that's a
physical. Clay is a better player than Steph.
That's a physical limitation.
Who wouldn't tell you that Clay's better than Steph? Klay Thompson.
Exactly.
Just the same way that Big Boy does, or Andre says that Big Boy is a better rapper than him.
Yeah, he did say that.
Well, he said Young Thug has talent, so I don't know. I don't trust Andre's opinion anymore.
I mean, well, Stacks is on some other shit. That man be walking down the street playing the ocarina. So I mean,
yeah.
I just want to say I'm astounded by the lack of respect for Draymond Green.
He kept popping in my head too.
Mr. Triple Single.
Exactly.
Hey, he is the heart and soul of that team.
Hey, I will not disagree with that though. I mean, you need the energy guy. That's what what's his name used to be in North Carolina, Hansborough.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Was Tyler Hansborough? Oh
no. Energy guy. I mean,
my man Tyler Hansborough
got him drafted too.
They got the NBA and was straight trash.
Hansborough will always be a college great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So was Sean May.
I looked at his G League stats one time, and he was averaging it might have only been 3-4 games, but he was averaging 30, 20, and 5. I was like, what the hell, Tyler Hansborough? All 6'8" or 6'7" of him in that hustle. What a hustler. So anyway, let's move past the James Harden talk. So last week we talked about LeBron getting an extension that took him through 2023. But this week it was revealed what his true intentions were with a recent quote. He said, the best thing about it is the year I will be a free agent will be the same year my oldest son graduates high school. James said the new deal. I have some options to see. For me personally, what I want to do going forward, being around my family, being around my son more, and to continue to play the game I love with great health and great spirits. We'll see. So my question is, do you foresee LeBron being able to play with his son in the NBA, and will it be on the Lakers? Myron, you start us off since you were last time.
I actually think that is possible for probably the one reason that LeBron, spends what $1 million on his body every year. He's clearly, I mean, has he lost a step from his prime? Absolutely, but his his losing a step is still better than, you know, arguably most of the NBA. So he's just still doing it in his 17th or 18th season.
Something like
18.
Yeah,
2003.
18th season, averaging 26, 8 and 8, and not like that's crazy. So can he do it for at least another 3 years? Absolutely. And first, and I think not only him wanting to do that, I think the NBA would push for that to happen because it's a money maker. It'll bring just people who don't even like basketball be like, wait a minute, what? LeBron's playing with his son in the NBA? Like it's a money grab, it's attention grabber. I think they're gonna make it happen.
True that. Ryan.
Yeah, he'll play with Bronny, but it'll be on whatever team drafts Bronny. I don't, he's going to be a lottery pick for sure. He'll be a number one pick more than likely. I don't foresee the Lakers being a number one pick as long as LeBron is there.
Or AD, right?
Yeah. So
Micah.
I think this has been his goal for a while, and I believe he's one who's smart enough and athletic enough where he'll still be able to do it. Now, he's going to I think he'll be one of the only players in the NBA to pull off what the Griffeys did in MLB, where Ken Sr. and Ken Jr. got to play together for one season. So yeah, but like Ryan said, I believe it's going to be on whatever team Bronny gets drafted by, because the Lakers, unless they just have a complete fall off, where like AD decides to sign in Brooklyn somebody else. I want to play with KD. I want to play with KD and what's his name too. Lakers aren't gonna be at the bottom of the league anytime soon. So.
Or you could just do like the Lakers did back in the 80s and win a championship and then get like a top 3 pick the next year. Pick James Worthy up and
trade away a player for a top pick.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think it'll be whatever team Bronny's on, he'll just go and sign over there. And I just hope he doesn't get lucky, and I just hope Danny Ainge doesn't get lucky and get one of those picks, because then LeBron will be going to Boston.
Oh my gosh. I mean, as much as I hate Boston, shout out to Ainge, man. Like the dude, I don't know, man. The dude's a mob boss. Like I don't.
He's a pick boss.
Yeah, I don't understand. Although, shout out to Schlenk. I actually like what Schlenk is doing with us. So
yeah,
I love it. And I do want to say to LeBron's like, stop worrying about what Kyrie's saying about you in the media. Kyrie came out and he was like, oh, I've never played with a clutch player before. He's just trying to get under your skin. He's just a scorned ex-lover. He's just trying to say little things in the press. So LeBron was like, oh, I was hurt. LeBron, you weren't hurt. You don't give a goddamn.
No, don't. You don't need to worry about what Kyrie said, because he's a flat earther. So it's just out the window. Out the window. Irrelevant.
Kyrie is trash. He's not a trash basketball player. He's a trash person.
Yeah, up here.
The only good thing Kyrie did was donate the money to the WNBA. Other than that, it's just, you're a flat earther. I take anything you say with a grain of salt, sir.
Let's start our own league.
God, Kyrie went from, man, he's so promising to, nobody wants him. He kills teams.
Exactly. I mean, his whole thing, like, I could lead a team. I was like, fam,
win.
We saw what you did when you quote unquote led a team. You can't lead. That's right. The same thing with Steph. Steph can't lead either.
But we don't know that yet. That remains to be seen, man. That remains to be seen. You have not seen Steph led his team to the finals.
Hey, he did not. He didn't lead his team to the finals. Steph rode the ride to
Oh
the
my
finals.
God. Okay, we're not doing this right now. we'll keep going. Okay. So the NBA is going to fine teams $100K for resting players this year on nationally televised games. They said they're going to be a little lenient about it, but my question about this is how many fake COVID diagnoses are the Lakers and Clippers going to combine for this season?
Out of 72 games, I give it a good. Well, you got to be quarantined for 2 weeks, right? So
Not necessarily. You could do like Nick Saban and just be like, oh, well.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
but given the generic 2 week, I'd say 20 games. 18 goes to the Clippers with Claw. For him alone.
Kawhi go catch COVID so much. Oh, man.
But I thought you had COVID yesterday. Yeah. That's all
Exactly.
you're gonna edit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? Yeah. Fucking Kawhi.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're doing this because that was BS. Granted, I had a laugh that they rested Kawhi all that time and still lost in the semis. Like that was
I'm a Kawhi fan though, so I didn't like that he lost like that, but it, like I said, playoff P showed his true self showed, and it's like, bro, you were not the same player that we thought you were back in Indiana. Like, dude, you choke. Your level of choke is just legendary. You might be one of the worst chokers I've seen of all time.
Falcons level.
Falcons level.
Falcons level choking.
Nah, he hasn't been on that kind of stage yet.
Oh, bruh. Nah. You kidding me? Dude, like 8 points in a game. Dude making max contracts and scoring like 8.
I don't think Paul George has ever gotten to a point. I mean, it's like we think he's talented and we see him put up good stats, but I don't think he's ever really been in a high leverage situation enough for him to. This was the first time he's ever like choked to that point where we're like, damn, PG. But
fair.
He's been in a situation where it's like, what can he do?
I agree. Fair.
When he was in the East, did he?
No, Indiana didn't do much. They challenged Cleveland one series, and then I think he got hurt the next year. And
I'm trying to remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that was when LeBron was over there.
Right. Oklahoma City against Portland.
He wasn't a star yet at that point. When he was going against LeBron, he wasn't expected.
No.
So he stepped up to that. It
wasn't. What's his name was still over there? Granger.
Yeah. Granger was still there, balling out.
Yep. Yeah.
But not like Oklahoma City was 2 years ago when he was a sly candidate in the MVP race for the regular season.
He came in third.
Then they got in the playoffs. And he got outplayed by Russell Westbrook. Which
that was Brody, all of them together. Brody can't win with Brody, so I wasn't ready to blame him for that yet.
Yeah, but I mean, you're supposed to be this lockdown defender, and the game-winning shot was hit in your face.
True.
with contest.
It wasn't a good shot.
No.
Wow.
Hey, I'm not going to blame him for that though, because that shot selection was not a good shot. Hey, that shit happens.
Yeah.
That shit happens. Like, hey, I mean, he was in his face. Like,
he was there.
He could not have done anything other than foul him at that point.
Yeah.
And so, hey, you win, you lose.
But I mean, it was just the bitterness of it. That wasn't even a good shot selection.
He's not wrong though.
He still hit it.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Said you lost, and he butt that dead in your face.
Hey, Dame Dollar. Hey, he did that thing, but I mean, it wasn't a good shot. But sometimes that shit falls.
So moving on. So this is sort of lighthearted, and it'll be quick. Michael Jordan recently opened a golf course in 2019. And now it's sort of getting news. It's called the Grove 23 with the Roman numerals XXIII. This 15K square foot course in Hobe, I think it's called Hobe Sound, Florida, is not only impressive for its sleek holes and state-of-the-art design, it also boasts of drones that will fly the members their beer right to them at any location on the course. Is that the coolest feature you've ever heard at a
Hell
golf?
yeah.
Right.
It
Hell
sounds
yeah.
cool, but I can see this going wrong in some way.
Right. So many drones are gonna get hit by golf balls too. People are gonna be on there just waiting too. Like, here comes the beer. Ha! Like they try and hit the ball carts at the driving range. That's gonna be the new thing.
It all sounds cool. I mean, this might be a little bit of alcohol talking, but my first thought is, was it paid for by the privatized prisons that he funded forever?
Oh, allegedly.
Yeah, my bad. That's what his attorneys say, allegedly. My bad. You're right. You're right. That was my first. That was my first thought. I was like, damn. Was it the Jordan money, the Jays, or the privatized prison money? Which one was it? You know. But drones are cute though. Drones are cute.
Chinese slave labor money. Yeah, any way
Right.
you want to cut it, it's probably not clean money, but
But cool, Jordan. Yeah.
Oh man.
I was
Damn,
wondering if I could get that from my house though, just like have a drone that flies beers from the kitchen.
But they just right up the stairs.
Right. That's cool. So despite how cool that is, it's you're not gonna get to see it because the club only has less than 100 members, so he doesn't want niggas in that club.
Oh, so it's definitely privatized prison money now. Definitely.
All right,
Cool.
so
That answers my question.
all right, a little Hawks talk before we get to our jersey review. So Rondo sees himself as the natural mentor for Trey. Any thoughts on that?
He said he was. It's really weird being the oldest person on a team because it's the first time he's ever been in that position. But yeah, he said he has a lot of skills that Trey needs help in developing. And I was like, oh, I like that you're saying that.
Yes.
Because you're like, what you're saying is Trey can't play defense. Let me help you out on that one, Trey.
Not just
And he
that.
goes for the flashy pass instead of maybe the practical pass all the time.
Yeah.
So
Well,
The
I mean,
intangibles.
not just that, I talked about it when we talked about Rondo, like how he can create. Like Trey is a great passer. He sees the floor well, but Rondo sees things well before they develop. And if Trey could get that kind of court vision to set other people up before, like, hey, you go to the corner, you come here.
Don't get me wrong. Trey has shown some of that because some of those passes that he throws, those left-handed dimes to the right side of the corner. I mean,
well, yeah, but I mean,
real vision.
like Trey, like I said, Trey has great court vision, and he well beyond his years. But like I said, there is a level of, like I said, Rondo will manipulate defenses to create shots for somebody else.
Let me chime in real quick. I think the biggest difference here is Trey is a creator on offense, while Rondo is a conductor of the offense.
It's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was hitting at.
Yeah.
So like just even the offensive side, the mind of Rondo could really help Trey out. And defensively, I mean any defensive tips would help Trey out. Just look how to stay in front of a man. All right, hand up. Let's go.
right. At least put your hands up. Don't play that shoulder defense that he be like.
Olay.
The Harden defense.
Right.
James,
The shrug defense is like,
I like the move. I'm glad that we picked up Rondo for that reason and that reason alone. Is for mentorship. For on the one side, Rondo has said in general, not this, even this specific move to the Hawks, but he likes the mentorship role. And that the fact that he wanted to actually come to us because he sees the talent in Trey. I like it. I like 100%. He's gonna add some mental toughness. His expertise as a all-time great one is great, and plus, just off the bench, I mean, if we can get playoff Rondo, bam,
Let's go.
off the bench, stop.
Right.
That's gonna be a problem.
With Dunn, we don't even necessarily have to give him too many minutes, so we can preserve him a lot till the playoffs, which is
exactly
a very great thing. And so Myron, we've asked everybody. So we had a lot of talk about the Hawks and all their moves in past episodes. But let me ask you. So I'm gonna put the line at 42 wins. You going over or under? And then the next two questions: playoff team, and if so, what seed?
42 out of 72, right?
Yep.
Over under. So the 30 losses. I'm gonna do under, but under by like 1.
So 41.
40, 41, around there. Playoff team, yes. Seed. And I'm assuming I didn't see anything different, but I don't think they're adding any extra seeds like the NFL did.
There will be a play-in game.
Oh, really?
They're keeping the play-in game. Yeah.
But still just 8 seeds though.
Yeah.
But still 8 seeds, but a play-in game for that. Okay, yeah. I'm thinking we get 6 seed.
So 40, 41 in the 6th seed. That's about what
Yeah.
That was pretty much the average answer for all of us.
Yeah.
So that is what's up. And now let's do this jersey review. I like to get the reaction.
You already got the rights to do it, so go for it.
I got it. Nice. Okay, where is my share? I got a large screen first. Share screen. Here we go. Bang! Your favorite player. So we already seen these ones. Those ones are pretty cool. I mean,
so hold on. I just want to say one thing. And during the what was that? The lottery, I was just laughing my ass off that Steph had cornrows.
It's
I'm
official,
like,
man. He's keeping them things.
The vibe that I got from him was Russell Wilson as an undercover cop trying to sell drugs. That's literally the vibe I got. And I like Russell Wilson, but that's not that guy.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson is like, hey, would you like to buy some weeds? Like, that's literally the look of Steph Curry with fucking cornrows. That's the vibe I got. But go ahead.
Oh man, but he even had his cornrows in when he interviewed Obama, man. So them things, they're staying. So we've seen the Hawks one. These are cool. Some of these.
Oh, that court.
Oh yeah, scroll back up to that court. I want that Hawks logo on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yes. Big facts.
For sure. I definitely like that. I wonder if they'll make that more. You should write them a letter. Do y'all like the Boston Banner? The Boston Banner jerseys? Are these cool?
It's too much. Too much writing on the jersey.
It's simultaneously too much and too little.
Right.
Yeah.
It's too much writing, like you said, because I mean it is just the banner, and it's too little in that it's not really a jersey. It's
a banner.
And this is their throwback, right?
It's like a city. They do the
city edition.
Oh,
yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
If they said this is their throwback jersey, then I'd be like, oh, okay, sure.
They designed it like this on purpose.
Oh my God. Somebody should have lost their job.
PowerPoint.
It does. That's
it's because Boston's just a lame ass city that They're like, look
It
how
is.
cool we are.
Right. So
Shut
we
up.
seen that's when
That's
Kyrie
trash.
it's all about Irving. It's
Bomb pop.
That's big facts,
Brooklyn's
Ryan.
new
The
one.
court is trash.
Y'all like this? John,
It looks like the Friends logo.
it sort of does. They
It
claim it's
does.
Basquiat inspired, but I don't see any Basquiat touches here. They claim.
Oh wait, did you scroll? Go back up. You see they have the bracket attached on the end of the,
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
and it's down to the 1. So they're saying they're going to the finals. That's a
Isn't it-
2-1 bracket.
Oh,
Is this an
good
equation?
catch. I did not notice that. That's a good catch, Ryan.
Oh,
They're cocky as
that's
hell, man.
terrible.
They're on some bullshit.
They're going to get bounced out the first round.
I mean, I just don't trust KD's knee. I don't know. After seeing what happened to Clay, I just don't know. I worry. We already sort of said we like that one.
Those are sick.
Yeah.
Their dark ass court. It's so funny. Whenever they do games in Charlotte, it always seems like they have worse quality cameras because their court's so dark. It's like,
Yo, have y'all ever noticed how bad the cameras are for Atlanta sports?
well, on Fox
And,
Sports.
yeah,
So-
except when they do national games. Like national games, like, oh, thank God.
yeah, I think it's Fox. I think it's a Fox Sports thing because they use Fox Sports as well. So I think it's their production crew that limits them. We've seen Chicago. It looks like mobster shit, or like it looks like the Broadway show Chicago. I guess.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Go back
That's-
up to Colby. Looks like a damn dating profile picture.
It does.
True that. The cast. So with this one, I was like, don't this look like the old Minute Maid logo?
It does.
I don't know what the hell.
It reminds me of something else too.
I don't
Like
know
that.
how much effort they put into this.
Not a lot. Doesn't seem like it.
It's their old jerseys with different lettering. That's it.
Right.
They moved the number off center and made it small.
It almost looks like an art project. Like someone like these
Yeah.
edges aren't really clean. I don't know.
It looks like when you're a kid and you're just now learning how to do bubble lettering, but you're like, I'm not going to do bubbles. I'm going to make everything jagged.
Oh, no. They got a design major from Berkeley, and they say connect with our urban audience. And that's what they did. That's exactly what happened.
It looks sort of shitty like Cleveland, though. I mean, this fits their city. Let's be honest.
Oh, big facts. Cleveland is Ohio as a state is trash. No offense to anybody that's from there, but offense.
Right.
Ohio is trash.
If you're listening and you're in Ohio, thank you. But yeah, your city's trash. Dallas was like, well, I guess since we're connected to Trae Young, we might as well just take their jerseys too. Like, I don't know what this is all about. Let's see. This the gold Dallas. Y'all digging that?
I mean,
yeah, it's just their jerseys, but gold, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think they changed the lettering a little bit. And not impressive.
Yeah, the shorts look kind of dope.
That's like, I feel like that's Hawk shit. Isn't that Hawk shit?
Kind of.
Yeah.
They're just gonna take our shit, man.
I mean, I fuck with Dirk. Dirk is one of my all-time favorite players.
You on the Luka? You on the Luka train?
I mean, no, I ain't gonna hate. I'm not gonna hate. Luka is a good player. A lot of people gave us shit for that trade. I think it was not a bad trade. I would have been okay either way.
True. But I'm happy we have Trae. I'm pretty happy about
it. Yeah, I mean, we technically got a 2-for-1.
Right, and Cam. Apparently, y'all heard Cam grew like 2 inches.
Yeah.
Season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he comes back, if we got KD now.
Yo.
If he continues to trend up, like, because at the end of last season, he was trending up. Like, he was playing very well. Yeah. And if he continues that, like, again, in hindsight, this trade will be a fucking steal.
A monster trade.
But yeah, I like Cam.
Where'd you hear that he grew?
I heard it on the radio, then I searched it, and I saw his trainer had said that he grew, and Coach Pierce was like, he looks a little taller.
Yeah, they said he I mean, they put 2 inches. I think like 1.5 inches, but still.
I mean, hell yeah.
So I mean that Denver one, no reaction.
Oh,
This one,
man.
look at how sad Blake Griffin looks.
About as sad as that hairline.
Where is it going?
Boy.
Where is it going?
I still forget that. I mean, I know that he plays, but I forget that he plays. Like any game that I watch, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, he still plays basketball.
The
game
sad
of
part is that he's
basketball.
actually developed guard skills. Like this dude can handle now. He got a
Right.
3-point shot, but then he plays in Detroit. It's like, oh shit.
That's the thing, because like Blake, his whole career is actually good.
Right.
He's like, you look at his like career stats in the playoffs, like he actually has a solid career. It's just
The
it's just
Kardashian.
blah.
We don't got to stick around here. Yoked up. MVP Steph. Back in full effect. Back in the house. Oakland. It's funny that they put Oakland on the court when they left Oakland. And they're actually it's the curse of Oakland now. Now they're never going to win again because they left Oakland.
Good.
Why are you a Steph hater?
No, go say it's trash, man. Go say it's trash.
Why are you a Steph hater, man? Your true colors are coming out, man. It's more Steph hate than anything.
Hey, Steph as a person, I say as a person as if I met him. Cool, I have no problems with, but Golden State, trash. Fucking trash.
So Houston decided to take our color scheme too. Everybody's borrowing from the Hawks, it seems like. I don't know what's up with these.
There's not bad.
I just don't really like the color scheme. I don't know. It just, what does that say? What is that? How's that Houston? I don't know. Indiana rebooted their old jerseys. Their
the throwbacks. That's
Look
cool.
all right.
Their old man Reggie jersey, their
Yeah.
finals appearance jersey. They're pretty cool. Apparently, people really like this jersey. Like I was looking at the comments, and people are like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad they brought these back." I didn't really know. Los Angeles.
I actually do like the lettering. I mean, it's Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that's all it is.
That's like your Cleveland one, where it's like get a Princeton grad student, like connect with the urban culture real quick. What do they like in Los Angeles?
I used to love San Andreas.
Well, I heard this term Vato. I think the Vatos like this.
There's a picture of this guy named Easy E. He has his hat and says Compton on it. Let's take that.
Their warm-ups are going to be the red and black buffalo check shirts.
Good.
But I do like the jersey though. I mean, it's cool.
Where Kawhi was like, "Oh yeah, oh it's all right."
Yeah, his trash ass. His trash ass. Get out of here.
Lakers brought back. I mean, those look all right.
Those are kind of dope.
Yeah, this is like that old school one. They brought that.
Yeah,
back.
yeah. The color scheme, the colorway.
I dig it. Memphis. I don't really like this.
Yo, that dude Ja.
Problem.
He's a problem, man.
Yeah,
He just
that's
needs to work on his shooting a little bit.
that's crazy.
As
He's
long
still
as he
young.
can shoot better than Westbrook.
Yeah.
I mean,
Done.
I think I can shoot better than Westbrook, but I'm just kidding now.
Yeah, I don't really dig that. I do dig that they brought these ones back. The old
Yeah.
Sharif Abdurrahim jerseys.
OG Gasol.
OG Gasol, right? I like
Right.
these though. Miami come with that heat, bro.
Yeah. That's South Beach all the way.
Another
Yeah, that's
Grand Theft Auto themed lettering though.
Facts.
Fight
Big
scene.
facts.
GTA got all the best lettering, so let's be real.
What do the kids like? They like GTA, right?
Right. And this one, it looks like Milwaukee stole the old Cleveland Cavs jersey.
Oh, it
Middleton.
does, yeah.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Milton trash ass.
Right. Why is his jersey? Why is his jersey?
Right. They didn't even get Middleton. Oh wait, who? Oh, well, fuck New Orleans. It don't even matter.
Yeah, yeah, we don't care.
Saw this one. I mean, Hell,
It's okay.
Orlando. We seen Orlando. We seen Phoenix. And
Trash.
Yeah, I think we're
Philly. We seen it.
Yeah.
Oregon.
we're back to where we've already seen.
Yeah, a lot of trash.
Toronto, Utah, DC. Yeah, DC's looks trash. Yeah, that's it. All right.
Well, the DC's throwbacks, the Bullets.
The Bullets,
Yeah.
right? They don't want to own up to their violent history, their violent past.
Right. No, we're the
All right.
Wizards.
So that
Hogwarts.
concludes the layup, aka the finger roll, aka jelly time, aka points in the paint. Bang. So,
Buzzer noise.
Bam, 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 bam.
Do y'all even want to cover the MLB? There's really not much
No.
that we've done.
No, we're good.
All right, cool. So that really wraps up sports. So at this point, Myron, we go through a round of recs, shout outs, and then a lightning round question, and then we call it a night. For recommendations, I've got one for everybody. We just did a dinner. It's kind of like a dinner service for those of y'all that follow my wife on Instagram and or Marco's sister. She did a whole like ad for them because she was so excited, but they're called Dinner Affair, AFARE. They're based out of Tucker. They do a dinner service. We got 12 12 dinners for $230, and that's also 3 sides. So it's like $210 for 12 dinners. All you got to do is throw it in the oven. Really high quality food from what I've seen so far. We just had our first one tonight. It was delicious. So if
You
y'all
said in Tucker?
yeah, it's Dinner Affair.
Oh, I live in Tucker. Hey.
Oh yeah,
Check
what
them
part?
out.
Hey.
You know where Heritage Golf Course is?
Mm-hmm.
I live literally across the street from the golf course.
Okay, yeah, I went to Lakeside, so I lived all up in that area.
I went to Chamblee though, so.
So did I.
I was supposed to go to Chamblee.
Hold up, who went to Chamblee?
I was supposed to.
I graduated
Wait.
in 08 from Chamblee.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I graduated 04, but you, well, not probably.
I
You
graduated,
definitely must have-
Brandon Armstrong.
Yep,
I graduated with him.
with him.
Francesca, she's on the news now.
Fontenot.
Francesca Amaker, she's on the news.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you know Rizwana Satar
Rizwana, that sounds familiar.
or a Robin Shuffett?
Robin Shuffett. I don't know. I was only there for 1 year.
Oh, and that was your last year?
Yeah, senior year.
Oh, okay.
So Myron, we actually might know a lot of similar people.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Kittredge, Chamblee Middle, Chamblee High.
Wow, so you were at Kittredge the same time I was?
Yeah, I graduated 04 from high school, so yeah, I was Kittredge.
Yeah,
from
I was
fourth grade
class
on.
I was class of 05. I went to Kittredge, but I didn't go to Chamblee. I went to Marist instead of Chamblee Middle.
Oh, boo!
Oh, privilege.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Oh, but yeah, that's what's up.
So yeah, like Nnamdi Okafor and
Yeah, I know
guys like
Nnamdi.
Stephen Glover. That's
Yep.
connection. You want to get Childish Gambino, you need to talk to
I
Stephen.
mean, his brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Actually played I think my senior year, I played it was either my junior year or senior year at Chamblee. I played at DSA because they needed players for their pit for a musical. And I played over there when Donald was there. Or wait a minute, is Donald a year older than me?
Yeah, because he was 03, because he was at Lakeside my freshman year when I got there before he went to DSA.
Yeah. So that was my junior year then.
True thespian,
But yeah, I know Nnamdi and all. Yeah. My wife actually went to Chamblee too. Funny thing, my wife and I met on a dating app. We did not know each other in school. She went to Kittredge, Chamblee Middle, Chamblee High. We're in each other's yearbooks. We
Same
did not
year
know
or
each
different
other.
years?
That's hilarious.
We're the same age, but she's 03, I'm 04 because my birthday's in September, that whole cutoff thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
Libra or Virgo gang?
Virgo, September 13th, in that thing. But that was weird because we're in each other's yearbooks and all that shit. And our friends know, I mean, obviously we have tons of mutual friends and they know that we didn't know each other. Like when we started dating, they were like, how did y'all date? Because we didn't run the same circles. But yeah, but that's dope though. Oh shit. Small world.
Oh, small world. Atlanta, everybody knows everybody somehow.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any recs?
Yeah, I'm pitch the same rec. Flu. Hit up Flu at Loving the Flu on Instagram. I know Christmas is coming, so he's about to open up that smoked salmon mac and cheese orders. Flu, if you're listening, I gotta hit you up. We got to get our folks at 92.9 some more food. So, and we need us to get some food.
You know who needs some food? Tap.
Ooh. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out that smoked salmon mac and cheese. Like,
boy,
that's all up my alley.
Oh yeah.
2 ways.
Yeah, I the funny thing was, like I said, quick story. I met him at a friend's baby shower for guys, and he brought it. And so my friend's wife makes really good mac and cheese, but I was like, all right, this guy just brought mac and cheese. Let me try it. I ate it, and first bite, it's like, whoa. Something's different about this one. So yeah, and after that, it was like, all right, I need to befriend you because I need more of this in my life.
Yeah, that's right in my way. So, keeping on the food tip, earlier in the episode, I already said Fiddle's Barbecue. Check him out. But also the homie down here doing some good Q is Jimmy's Jerk Kitchen. Just look that up. Jimmy's Jerk Kitchen. He does pop-ups all around town. This weekend of the what's the date? 12th, Saturday the 12th. He's going to be at Variant Brewing doing a pop-up up in Roswell. So check him out. He's hella dope, doing some good stuff.
Oh, slight wreck is we actually, our son goes to school with the daughter of the guy who runs Big Dave's, and they just opened up their recent location over here in Doraville.
Yeah.
Go check them out, man. Big Dave, whew, that's some good cheesesteak right there.
I will say Fred's Meat and Bread, their cheesesteak, I think is the best in Atlanta.
Fred's Meat and Bread?
Yes. It was on fucking Food Network. Alton Brown, that show, The Best Thing I Ever Ate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alton Brown, who's a Georgia native,
Mm-hmm.
he said that's the best cheesesteak he's ever eaten. It's at Krog Street Market.
Okay.
Fred's Meat and Bread. Check them out. Are they overpriced? It's Krog Street prices.
So yeah.
But the shit is flame though.
Fred's have a nice
I've seen this place. Oh, they look like some damn good burgers.
Oh, I think I've had a burger there, never Philly. I've been there for sure.
Oh, get the Philly. If you the straight Philly is good, but that Korean Philly, stop it. It's their Philly with gochujang and candied jalapenos. Get out of here.
I know where I'm going this weekend.
I'm telling you.
Maybe even tomorrow.
Like I said, I rock with Dave, but Fred's Meat and Bread, their Phillies, another level.
Look at that. Y'all just got like hella wrecks there. Shout outs. If anybody's got any shout outs or anybody doing anything extraordinary, anything cool around here, I'm blank today. So if anybody wants one, go for it.
Shout out to Glenn, aka Alpha. So yeah, he sent me he got a blog listing. Somebody wrote up a blog on him and his new music. If you do listen to him, listen to It's On Me. It's actually a pretty good track. So check him out.
Alpha.
It's the guy you sent me. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's Anjali's boyfriend.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right, so lightning round. Unless y'all got anything special, we had someone on Twitter chime in and give us a lightning round question. It's still sports related though, so it'd be a departure from what we normally do. Y'all anybody got one?
No.
All right, so lightning round today is going to be, if you could replace any one player on this Falcons roster with anyone else in the league, who would it be and why? I've got one if y'all don't.
I definitely do, but you know, go ahead.
I mean, as good as he is for us, it's a Pat Mahomes for Matt Ryan. It's the easiest.
That was easy.
Big facts. Easiest thing to do.
Right, that's too easy, man.
Get a guy that transcends the game,
be
kind of
like
like Steph Curry transcended basketball.
Right. You should say anyone but the quarterback. Anyone but quarterback.
Damn it, Ryan! I was trying to go to the bathroom. I can still hear you.
I know.
Fuck that.
Pat Mahomes is the Steph of the NFL. That's
He literally is.
That's
if I'm being serious though and like realistic, like Aaron, no. Yeah, Aaron Donald.
I was saying that, but then you'd have to replace Grady.
No, you can play him right next to Grady.
So of course, I mean the easy answer is Pat Mahomes for Matt Ryan. But if I was gonna go a different direction, if you said anybody but quarterback, I would either say either Honey Badger or Jamal Adams for Rico. Now imagine Jamal Adams and Kiki in the same secondary, or Honey Badger.
That's it. Like Honey Badger would fit our need better.
Yeah. But yeah, Honey Badger for Rico would make our defense even better.
Well, who's the if you're besides the defensive end, whoever like is the best defensive end in the league right now?
TJ Watt right now, even though he's an outside backer, but he's a 3-4 backer. So
yeah.
Right. So either that, or I would say like Kareem Hunt. Bring him in, turn our running game up.
Just so Dirk Cutter can misuse him.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Or Kamara for Gurley right now.
Or I just say let's bring in any play caller but Dirk, and we probably see shit change overnight.
I'd bring in an assassin to kill Dirk Cutter. Who you got, Myron? Who you replacing?
Actually, I don't have a name per se, because I don't watch them that much. But anybody on the left side of the Colts O-line.
Oh, Quentin Nelson.
Quentin Nelson, probably.
Yeah.
I thought about him too.
For Carpenter.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Quentin Nelson is disgusting.
I do that.
I
do that.
I still remember that block he made against Georgia in college.
And actually, and it wouldn't be say him for Carpenter, and then well, I mean, Jake Still's cool, but depending on who we had, I would even just, if we get Carpenter, I would switch Jake to the right.
Fuck Carpenter. You're not replacing Lindstrom.
I mean, this is only his second year, and he was hurt last year.
He's our highest rated offensive lineman right now.
He's young, and I want to see some more, and I'm excited for Lindstrom. Lindstrom and McGarry
both played well this year.
Yeah, they did.
Jake always
healthy. He does, but he has tough assignments though.
Right, that blind side is a bitch.
Yeah, he has tough assignments, so I have no problems with Jake. But is he the best? Obviously not, but he's definitely good. But yeah, like I said, yeah, anybody on the left side of the Colts O-line, then I'd rock with.
Wait, I was just on Twitter and I saw J. Cole is trending. It's like, oh, he might drop the album tonight.
Uh-oh. That might be an album I have to listen to tomorrow.
Interesting. But it's up in there.
I need some y'all got some music recs for me? It doesn't have to be new. It can be old.
You're into just about anything?
Yeah.
Let me go through my title list here. That's how my memory works. I have to save it. If I listen to you, it's like, let me go through and save it. Otherwise I won't. Mike is a good repository of artists.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't listen to as broad a spectrum of music as he does. So I mean, like some of the ones Toby Wigway, which I'm sure you probably listen to.
I have not listened. I know Toby, and I've listened to song here or there, but I haven't actually dove in.
Yeah,
So,
once I dove in, I really became a fan. He put on a pretty good show too. We were streaming and I was watching his concert while trying to stream this. It screwed up my connection, but it was worth it. The concert was great. Chris Stapleton is a good one.
You like Chris Stapleton?
Some of them, but
That's shocking.
Tennessee Whiskey is an amazing song. So and his voice is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
always draw blanks when it comes to music.
Daniel Caesar is a good one.
I got one. If you like, not even qualify him. Tokyo Myers, Tokyo with an I. Check him out on YouTube as well because his visuals are just incredible as he plays his piano. He does a lot of type of things. He's a British guy.
okay.
He's a performer though. He's definitely, you got to watch him as well. Teo is pretty cool with the Spanish question marks on both sides.
I might have to rock with Tokyo off the strength that he got Riley from Boondocks on his Spotify account.
Yeah. Tokyo is a bad man.
Shout out to Aaron Magruder. Aaron Magruder, the GOAT.
Yeah. And I'll just end it with he's probably a little more well known, but John Bellion, he's pretty good. He does some.
He drops an album on Friday.
Jid.
Yeah, Jid's really cool. But yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see the crazy thing about this whole COVID thing is I would get most of my listening, whether it's music or podcast, mostly music, on the drive to and from work.
Mm-hmm.
But since that's not a thing anymore, I just more so just listen to anything that I already listened to every now and then. The short drives I have to go to a grocery store or Costco or some shit like that.
Right.
I'm just already locked into my usual playlist or whatnot. So I don't have that 30 to 45 minute drive to lock into something new to get my attention.
That's gotta be rough on podcasts as well because that's where people listen is in the car.
Yeah.
Not affecting Joe Rogan for some reason.
Because Joe Rogan's ready for them aliens.
So you have you heard of Jid before?
Yeah.
Who was another one I was thinking? Well, Dreamville. A lot of that Dreamville they pretty interesting. That whole lineup he's got and J. Cole's got over there.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that last album they dropped. I just heard maybe one or two tracks from the album. But they were good. I just never, like we talked about earlier, I never sat down and listened to the whole thing.
Actually, J. Cole has a playlist that he accumulated of his tracks and Dreamville's tracks. And you can go through and just listen to all of these features and artists and stuff he's got on his label. So
I was like, what the hell is that noise?
Are y'all J. Cole fans?
I am.
Yeah.
I'll listen to him.
I rock with J. Cole. I do, which in my opinion, there is not a competition because they are different, but a lot of people put him against Kendrick. K Dot, I'm hands down, that's a big fan. Like anything that he's done or does, I am. But the main criticism that I hear about J. Cole, which I do understand, but I still like him, is that he sounds sort of the same or boring. It's like a J. Cole album or track sounds like a J. Cole album or track. It's like Keanu Reeves. It's like Keanu Reeves, he acts, but it's the same person, no
Yeah.
But
matter the role.
it's because he produces it himself a lot.
Yeah.
So a lot of
Right.
times he sticks to things that he knows.
Actually, have you listened to D Smoke?
Yo, his album was dope. I didn't watch the whatever show that he was on.
Hustling, was it Hustle and Flow or Rhythm
Whatever
and
that.
Flow?
Yeah, whatever show that was. I didn't watch it. My homie, his wife, they were like, "Yo, you really need to watch it just because of D Smoke." But at that point, I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna listen to the album." The album was dope.
His finale on that show was incredible because the song on the album doesn't do that song justice like the video he made for that finale show. So it wasn't even a video, it was just a live performance, and like he's playing the piano, and you didn't know he could play the piano, dude. I mean, dude speaks fluent in Spanish, so.
But that's what's his name's brother.
Who?
Him.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's his brother.
That's why he's been in the music so long.
Yeah, I did not know that until Spotify does like the whole little background info or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, he's been in music a minute.
Yeah.
This was just his avenue out, but I mean, yeah, the album was dope. I rocked with it. I mean, I think he damn near, I think every track he did like part English, part Spanish. Yeah, it was cool. I rock with it. And he low key does, his voice sounds like Kendrick.
Yeah. But that's that Cali,
I mean,
that Southern
dude.
Cali thing.
Right. But he like, because sometimes I was like, is this featuring Kendrick or
with the flow too? The flow matches too.
True. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, he's good.
Dope. All right, guys, let's wrap this one up. This was a long one tonight.
50.
Myron, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was a great show. For those who didn't hear the first time around, Myron, tell them where to find you.
So I am one of the co-hosts of the Atlanta podcast. That's THE Atlanta. If you're a cop, that's how you say it. So the Atlanta podcast. You can find us on IG, Facebook, Spotify, anywhere you stream your podcasts.
Dope.
And this was dope. Ryan, Micah, Marco, like this was fun.
Yeah.
This was
coming on, man.
Yeah, man. You're welcome to come on anytime. We still need to do that. I think that was you I was talking to on the Atlanta podcast Instagram, but someone had mentioned doing a going out getting some drink, a collab podcast one time.
Yeah, I mean, just a collab podcast tip. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Y'all come through, or we can come through. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And then even outside of that, like I said, if we're all local or local-ish, I'm always out in the streets. Anytime y'all want to catch a drink or something like that, just hit me up.
For sure. So we are Fish and Grits, the podcast. You can find us on same thing, same drill. Anywhere you find your podcasts, you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Make sure to smash that like button on YouTube. Hit that bell so you see when we go live after the Falcons games or when we put our episodes up there. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm Ryan. These guys are
Marco.
I'm Micah.
Appreciate you listening. We'll catch y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.